post rules. I really believe they purposely do not post rules. We have to take this break, okay? If you have a home and you're looking to sell it or to buy a home, or you're just curious, you need to check out Absolute Radon. Now, radon has been found by the EPA and by other agencies to be a public health hazard for certain levels. And if you get these levels, it's recommended that you mitigate. That means that you put in a ventilation system. Absolute Radon does most of these systems complete for under $1,000, and you can get your problem completely taken care of. But here's the deal. The test is very cheap. All you have to do is call, and it depends on how many trays and stuff you need. It's a very simple test. You just lay these things out in your house, and they can tell you all about it. You may not have a problem at all, and they'll be honest with you. 303-880-0682. 303-880-0682.
I had a place to call, the guy that called me about a place downtown.
Yes.
They borrowed the tools to check out all the parking signs. They didn't give him his tools back, and then we're moving cars.
You had to think
But even if he knew who the hell it was, he'd get his tools back. But they borrowed his sockets.
Why didn't you let him borrow it?
Oh, they asked them, they said they had to take some signs down, they'd be right back, and took a socket set and a rim set and left. But he said, after, as soon as they took the signs down, they were over there moving cars. I didn't get the address of where it was.
With a high near 52. Tonight, mostly clear overnight with a low of 28. Tomorrow, warmer even, sunny, a high near 62.
People are that makes sense. They go and take the signs down. Then
with your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30 K-How.
This report is brought to you by Sunflower Bank. New Year.
Two people in a row gave me the wrong number.
Sunflower Bank can help you get on track to meet your financial goals. They get to know you on a personal level and put their financial expertise to work, bringing up the best in the lives they touch. Learn more at sunflowerbank.com. Member FDIC.
If you're doing your kitchen, you're going to love these guys. I love the Art of Granite because they're big and small. What I mean by big and small, they are big when it comes to what they do. They can get you any granite you want on Mitch's wholesale account, and that's all you'll pay is wholesale. He doesn't mark it up, so you can go anywhere. So he's equivalent to anyone, anywhere you can buy your granite. Also cabinets, you'll get them direct from the manufacturer. He's like the big guys there, but like the small guys here, you deal with one person.
You don't have to have the Wi-Fi.
Big giant warehouses never do
Password
that.
here,
Also, he gets you the best prices, and he doesn't lie to you about it. Like the big places that tell you you're getting 70 and 80% off. With Mitch, just compare.
If you get it, I have a
see. It's beautiful wholesale granite, beautiful
furniture,
manufacturer, and he will do everything you do in the kitchen in the bathroom free. Meaning, if you get counters, he'll do a vanity top. If you get cabinets, he'll do a vanity top. And he'll tear out a contact list in here to start this process.
Those guys suck, man.
It would have to have Wi-Fi.
You know what? They were quick. They're getting smarter telling them quick because people will just cut them off.
There's that Wi-Fi thing here. You know what that one?
The what, sir?
The Wi-Fi password and everything that was taped down here.
I have no idea where it was.
Mark?
I talked to the guy over the weekend. It was downtown.
Yes.
And a tow company came to borrow wrenches from him, take some signs down in the parking lot. He didn't bring his tools back. Took all the signs down, and he said they were over there booting all the cars.
Where?
I didn't get the address where it was downtown. He was supposed to call me back. But I said, does he know the name of the place that has your... No.
Or ZeroResDenver.com.
So they steal the guy's stuff and then they move cars. Sounds like the same outfit.
Again, because I've never had cleaner, fresher carpets. No sticky residue. That's because...
Hey, Steve, Mark, I just saw your text.
Carpets, they get them really clean with their patented empowered water. No soaps, harsh chemicals.
Are you serious?
And now get free
He's one of you guys. There's a, look at your emails. They got the pictures sent to you
They feel like new.
of the parking right.
Never have to worry about dangerous toxins left behind. Call now and get really clean carpets with ZeroRes. 3 rooms pre-treated, clean, and sanitized for just $109. 303-471-5150. 3 rooms for just $109. 303-471-5150 or ZeroResDenver.com. 471-5150 or ZeroResDenver.com.
Tired of other adults telling you what to do? Online
Tom, I emailed those pictures. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's not clear. His truck is the orange one.
Online Trading Academy is the only financial educator that I personally endorse. You can check them out at this week's free half-day class, and you'll see why. Call soon, though. Trading Academy. Reserve your free class at 303-547-3588 or tradingacademy.com.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan with credit optimization in order to get even better rates. They also have a term loan. You may not want to go back to 30, but whatever term you want. If you refinance or you purchase and rates go down, they will refinance you free of all lender fees. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. Equal Opportunity Lender regulated by DORA. NMLS 136756. For terms and conditions, call 844-45.
No, I just have a county call service that represents us like we represent.
So that's pretty much an emergency Tuesday morning.
Sure feels like the Me Too
Well, I've had
movement
somebody
is jumping
saying
the shark. Let's talk about it tomorrow
asking
morning at
these silly
7:06
questions, you know.
right here on 630 KHOW.
Can't get my filter out or something, you know.
Just come out 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Walking.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Aurora Orthodontics and TMJ provides the new orthodontics for adults. And they do it the right way. No surgeries, no extractions needed. You can actually have your palate expanded using mouthpieces over a short period of time, which straightens out your teeth, and then they use Invisalign braces. And this whole technique and process takes 2 years. And it's a fraction of the cost. Just a few grand compared to $60,000 for veneers. In fact, just the front teeth veneers are $25,000. It's such a great option for people who want a healthy mouth and a pretty smile, because it's not only cosmetic in nature, but it also helps you with TMJ and sleep apneas and other problems to have this done. It's incredible. Give them a call for more, and find out about the children's program as well, which is even more remarkable. Some kids don't need braces at all if you get them young enough. 303-690-0100, the new orthodontics, Dr. Kent Lawson. 303-690-0100. So let's talk. Will had his car towed. Is it right or wrong? We have photos. Did you put the photos up we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Dan, did you put the photos up yet? Okay, when you get the photos up, I'll talk about them. Right now, I'll take Drew. Drew, what's happening with you, Drew?
Yes, morning, Tom.
Yes, Drew.
A church secretary is viciously harming me, and I hope you can refer this story to a journalist for
Tell me what you mean that a church secretary is viciously harming you.
Well, due to landlord neglect, I have damaged lungs, and I have no bathroom. So a church leader said, I'm a good guy. Sorry, Tom. Come and use the church shower.
Now, how long has this problem been going on that affected your lungs? Because you're doing a good job demonstrating it. How long has this been going on?
Since September 19th that we had all the testing done. I have no bathroom, damaged lungs. A church leader...
Now, why do you have damaged lungs?
Because the bathroom is contaminated with massive, dangerous mold spores.
And you had this tested?
Yes.
And how high is the mold count?
I don't have the document in front of me, but it's all been tested. It's beyond the levels. It's dangerous and high. So I have no bathroom, and a church leader told me, you're a good guy, come use our shower. Call up the church secretary. So I did, and in any case...
Do you want me to call the ambulance or what? I mean, Drew, it sounds pretty bad, but here's the deal. What are you doing about your apartment right now?
Well, there is a lawyer trying to get that fixed, but I need your help with this because...
What do you need my help with?
The secretary told me I can't use the shower. No man can be alone with her. She's not safe with any man alone with her. And then I said, how about if the pastor is there? That should solve the problem. She still said no. And then she...
Well, the pastor, I would say, could overrule her. Hold on a second. We got this and more.
Student loans, car loans, high-interest credit card.
I don't care. But Mark, this guy should get a ticket. Look at the way he's parked. What are you talking about? It's not clear. He's parked. I would give him a ticket. You don't need a sign to know you can't park like that. Come on.
Halfway into the space.
God, I don't know, man.
Those are awful narrow
You could go to the mall and there's 9,000 cars parked like that at
Yeah,
any
but
given time.
well, listen, I'm tired of it. I'm literally tired of people parking like that.
Which one did they boot, his car or truck?
Do they do the other one?
And what else if the car next to him is what created that issue?
Then you have them booted.
Well, how would you know that, though, if they already moved?
These are the, did they take them both?
Did you put these up?
I got the one up there.
What do you think?
Well, like I say, he's over the line.
Oh, my God.
I don't know
$577?
I don't
Oh,
know.
I
About the
totally
pictures?
agree
Which
there.
one is his?
The
This
orange.
is the orange truck. Look,
Look,
but,
He's
yeah, but
clearly-
look here.
Did they
Look
go-
how there's a line.
No, there's just, right here is pretty clear. This guy is just over the freaking
See, I
line.
bet he was here first.
In the
and then
truck.
he's like, oh God, I
The
better.
truck's not all the way over the line.
Look at the second
Is
set
that
of
his truck?
pictures.
Yes, he's over the line.
Whoa,
I
What
know-
vehicle is
Oh,
he
yeah,
in?
whoa.
He's
Oh,
in
he
the
took a
orange
bunch
truck.
of different, the orange one is his.
Yes.
But there's a bunch of other
Which
people.
one's the orange one?
Right here.
Oh, you're looking at the second email,
Oh, shit,
Mark.
I'm
Look
not-
at the first email.
Oh, my God. Well, okay, the orange one.
More
Come on,
right
Mark.
The orange one, my God, he's way over the line.
I know he is. No matter
But what else if the Jeep was there first?
It doesn't.
Okay, what?
Look at the lines though. See how skinny the
Oh, well,
orange is compared to the
so-
Jeep?
Get a
and the
handicap
black car.
permit, so you can
Right.
use a big
So,
wide
Mark,
one like
look
me.
at this one. Look at
Look how wide this one is.
So
Look
what
how
the
wide
Jeep is
that
there first.
Oh, wait a minute, he brings up a,
Yeah, look at the lines. He pulled into the orange one.
He brings up, I made that point, Mark, to Tom.
The lines are all messed up.
Whether the Jeep was there first or not, he could have parked between those damn lines.
Extra thin lines in there.
There's nothing that would prevent that guy from parking correctly. Look at him.
here's the reality.
Come on.
Hold on, here's the reality.
Space looks
There's
like
3
it's narrow.
spaces and 3 vehicles there.
He's trying to squeeze
Look
it
at,
narrow.
actually look at that. It's almost like it's not painted right.
It's almost
not.
like it wouldn't matter where he's parked, but they don't reason like that. What place is this? Is it the same place?
That space he's in is
No,
narrow.
because he said he owned these. It's not an apartment, it's a townhome.
No, it isn't.
That's what I
He
said.
said it was a condo.
He said he owned it.
It's not.
But look, if you just take the lines out of your brain, it looks like there's 3 spaces there.
On yours, the lines look the same way.
The
Over
lines
there-
are in that
They're
ground.
definitely the same.
Yeah, over there in his picture, that line's where his truck is.
I don't know, man.
Look, the guy,
I own a big F-350.
This is the picture we want to talk about when we're
Right here,
talking.
right here.
We all agree that's the
I own an F-350.
the one with
Couldn't
the
have parked
truck,
close
the
if he
Jeep,
needed
then the
to,
car,
otherwise
right?
he'd hit the van next to him.
Okay.
Is this one
I
right
mean,
here?
come on, the guy.
But if you look
How
at
about
it,
if you backed it
it's
up?
3 spots and there's
It would've
3
been
cars
right.
there,
In other
all
words,
with about the same
In other words,
distance.
what harm, right? In other words, what harm?
They got decent-
What harm? They're not taking up 2 spots.
Yeah,
I
well,
understand
this
that.
one doesn't.
You're right.
Most of
You're
them.
right.
Unconscious rates designers.
No matter what, you're right. They're not taking up.
What rule is he breaking? Is a rule literally if you're over the line, we tow it? How about if that car was over the line? Like, how about the Jeep? How come they didn't tow the Jeep?
He's within the line.
He's within the line. There's 2 lines.
No, but he's over the one line.
That middle line doesn't, it's for a motorcycle.
Who knows what it's for?
I don't know what it is, but what apartment complex, we should call him and give him hell.
694
What's that?
But the Jeep looks like it parked there because the pickup was way over the line.
800.
Yeah, I think the truck was
You're right.
first.
They could, we don't know, but
But really, it's so weird because they're almost gapped perfectly. Really, it should be restriped to match what they parked. Don't you think?
If he would have lined up to the left side of the line, he would have hit the beast with his door. He wouldn't have been able to get out.
what's that?
You know what I mean? If he would have been within the lines, he would have door dinged the car next to him.
Yeah, it happens.
God, I can't believe they took. If this is really how whoever booted it found it, he didn't take up 2 spots. He didn't do anything besides be outside of the line.
Especially since the Jeep spot's wider.
Now we'll find out this isn't even the night
I
it
think the
happened.
apartment complex is getting part of the money from this
Of
booth.
course they are. Well, plus they get, well, they get someone to monitor
that for free.
for free.
More than 20 years. Alliance Leasing will get you into your fleet vehicles with all the...
So it might not be monetary, but it's definitely a trade worthwhile.
Oh, these are just other cars that are parking over the line.
Learn more at alliance.lease. That's right, just type alliance.
Here's another thing is, if it just snowed, you don't see the lines, which is additional snow. How do you know where?
You know what we should do is we should go out to this one and paint new lines.
Which will increase your value even more. Take AIM, 720-895-0500.
And any vehicle is parked over the line. Okay.
With these new loan limits, you can refinance now and stop.
See, he's screwed though now because his vehicle's gone. He owes him $600 plus what, $30 a day.
You think they
Oh,
charge?
plus whatever. I'm sorry. Now they have the tow. Yeah, I mean this guy's going to be 1,000 plus deep.
Not the banks.
Do you think they charge more?
But he also
for
says when he
tolls
tries to
for
call,
the
he can't get through.
I was told this guy didn't have a PUC license. I'm curious who actually towed the vehicle then.
Good mortgage insurance. AIM has been your locally owned and operated neighbor
His wife.
since 2001. Online paperless app.
What is that thing you have there?
Oh,
somebody asked the other day.
720-895-0500.
The only way that can be made is in 3D print.
And see, I disagree. I said it could be made with a mold.
How would you get the mold out of the
Now, you
inside?
heard me talk a lot
But I mean,
about
why couldn't
A biodegradable mold.
That is one piece.
Breaks down after a certain heat.
Or you just break
But
it.
it's not working.
Once you do it, you just break the mold.
No, that's
like,
why that was
family
why that's
something.
the throw away.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually supposed to turn or else it'll turn.
But
how, in my 3D model, you can't have it turn.
Yeah.
Well, you could because you can't print the space inside. You do. Well, there's what they call
Why would you want
comes
that?
up under this.
Yeah.
Can there be some sort of support structure in those
Hey,
spaces?
he is the same man that created a bird scare with machine guns
Support structure to be in there, and that's why
and got a patent on it, which is pretty badass.
Like, say you're trying to make it out, it's another type of plastic. It's a plastic.
Every time you
It
press
looks like a spring, you know, but there's a second spring. Like, say I was going to make mushrooms. I go out, before it goes out. I don't have any.
I mean, I totally agree. 560. I totally agree on that.
As it comes out, I don't.
And that truck is. What do you think that truck is worth? I don't know what hundred is, but that's probably
Up under it.
25,000 units. It's 4 years old.
I don't guess.
What's your
Yeah.
250?
Well, I've seen
350.
They do. They do. Let's say we go up and have a mushroom.
It's kind of like an church just
How do I
gas.
print a part of it out there? I don't see it. Air big exhaust. Goes underneath the mushroom. Yeah, you have to have something come up under.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino. This hour brought to you by Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan. If you're looking for a home loan, Ideal Home Loans, they have interest rate guarantee. If interest rates go down over the next 2 years after you finance or buy, they will refinance you free of charge, free of all lender fees. Think about that. So that is one giant reason. Plus, they have custom term loans. You can find your term. You can pick your term, whatever you want, still get the low rate. 303-867-7000, 303-867-7000, idealhomeloans.com. I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate. We are fighting for you, solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints, and making your life just a little easier. All you have to do is call us, and we will happily get involved. Some people we can help, some people we can't. Over the years, we've recovered millions, hundreds of millions of dollars for people in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. We have some guests today. We have a new member of the referral list sitting in just to say hi, Jeremy. And Jeremy, you can chime in, by the way. He's with Front Range HVAC, centered in Castle Rock, serves the South area. And we have Dr. Kevin Berry, TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado. And this is, of course, dealing with sleep apnea, mainly, and it also, the mouthpieces he makes that you wear at night also help with TMJ, and I'm not sure how. So, Doc, when people have TMJ and they wear this, what does it do for the TMJ part? Now, I have a sleep apnea mouthpiece, and I love it, but how would it help with TMJ?
By the specific design of the appliance, if we have a patient that's a typical clincher at night, they wake up with real sore muscles in their face and their head, or headaches. They may be clenching with their sleep apnea also, so I designed the appliance that does not allow them to clench on that appliance.
Does it also, TMJ is also a kind of misalignment, isn't it?
Right, it can be a misalignment.
And does it help with that?
It doesn't correct the bite, but it helps alleviate the muscle tension from the bite.
Right. Right,
the bite
so
problem.
it doesn't get worse, and it relieves it. So if you wear it every night, I could see where you could get relief during every day.
Absolutely, and a lot of patients that do have sleep apnea and that are in the oral appliance do have other TMJ issues, and we do fabricate daytime appliances to help treat both conditions.
Do most people with TMJ, with sleep apnea snore?
Probably 75% of sleep apnea patients snore.
So when you wear this mouthpiece, does it do away with the snoring?
It does. We're probably 90% effective with relieving snoring. We're also effective with reducing the amount of snoring that a patient has, so it's not as intrusive to the bed partner.
And this whole system, first you do an initial checkup.
Yes, we do an initial exam that includes 2 x-rays.
Okay, so the 2 x-rays. And they may have other problems, then you refer them out.
Correct.
They may not. If you don't think a mouthpiece is going to work, you end it right there with the exam, right?
I complete my exam, and then I refer them to the appropriate individual.
But if they have a typical sleep apnea and you see it and you can help, after they do the initial exam, they do a home sleep study.
Correct.
And I had that done. They send you the device, and I'm telling you, it's as easy as putting something on your finger and a little tiny thing in your nose, and you go to sleep. And you don't have to baby it. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to turn it on and off. You don't have to, when you turn it on, you don't have to worry about it, is what I'm saying. There are no adjustments to make, nothing.
No, it's pretty
and
simple.
It records your sleep pattern and
Absolutely.
your breathing pattern. Then in the morning, they come and pick it up, and you get the results.
Correct. Yeah, it takes about a week to get the sleep study read by a licensed sleep physician. Then I get the results, and I go over the results with the patients.
And if they have an apnea, it's confirmed, then you make a mouthpiece for that person after the sleep results. So first the initial exam, second the sleep test, which really it's nothing like going to a laboratory. Like, oh my God, that was terrible. I did that one time. It was terrible. This overnight test is nothing, and then you have the appliance made and fitted in your office, and that just takes 2 visits?
Correct.
One is to make the mold.
Right. We have a delivery. I do see the patients for follow-up visits for 3 months, and then we do a secondary follow-up sleep study to make sure that the appliance is fully treating their apnea.
And here's the deal. Insurance does pay for this if you have insurance. Now, the amount they pay is according to what insurance you have.
Correct. Every insurance company is different, so if you have a specific insurance question,
you got to call them. Right. But you do take insurance.
We absolutely take insurance.
Okay.
We bill and accept assignment from the insurance company.
So if you want to make an initial exam, how long does that take?
The initial exam, the first appointment is 60 to 90 minute time frame in our office.
303-942-1372. 303-942-1372. And you're on the referral list at referrallist.com. I'm sorry, no, that was the other number. I'm sorry, that was the other number. I was looking at the wrong number. I just gave out front range HVAC, which is fine. Okay, for sleep apnea, I'm sorry. Listen, if you want to call about the initial exam with the doctor, is your receptionist going to be very confused? I want a sleep study. Well, we do furnaces. I want a sleep study. Okay, Dr. Kevin Berry. Okay, it's 303-691-0267. 303-691-0267 for the sleep apnea treatment and TMJ therapy. 303-691-0267.
If someone's been on a CPAP, Doc, forever, I mean, let's say they've been on one for 5 or 6 years, what are the odds you can get them off of that with just this utensil?
We have highly positive odds with that. Just all depends on their initial sleep study. If they're a mild to moderate sleep apnea patient, they're first line of defense could be an oral appliance. If they're a severe apnea patient and they can't wear their CPAP, I've still treated hundreds of patients with severe apnea that can't wear their CPAP.
Now, I talked to a doctor, a sleep doctor, who said 3 to 5% need machines. Only 3 to 5% really need those machines.
Then why are all these people on CPAP?
Because there was never this option before. This option is relatively new. I mean, relatively. And also, the sleep labs were not referring them because there was a little political stuff going on. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. These people that make CPAPs have a strong lobby. They don't like these they don't like the mouthpieces. You need power. You don't need to clean it. You don't need to maintain it. I mean, you got to clean it. You know what I'm saying. But you don't, those C-crap machines, oh my God, they are terrible. You have parts and hoses and mouthpieces it's for the face mask, even the one with the cannula, they're terrible. And only 3 to 5% need them. Tim, what's going on?
So my question for Dr. Barry is does his apparatus force your mouth to stay open, or does it protrude your lower jaw? And the reason I ask is because when it keeps my mouth open, for me, it's like I get dry mouth. It's really uncomfortable. And then if it protrudes my jaw, it obviously gives me mouth pain and jaw pain.
Right. So the proper design of the appliances, if you're currently wearing one, then the proper design for you, it's not effectively treating you, and that's what I utilize. I see several patients that have had other appliances made. They come into me, and it's listening to the patient, it's discussing with them what's going on, and finding the problem. If you're getting a dry mouth, there may be other problems like nasal patency, which means you can't breathe through your nose. So then I refer you to the ENT. We make sure you can breathe through your nose, and then you can wear the appliance.
Yeah, but you can wear that appliance. You can wear an appliance even if you breathe through your nose. Not that much. I mean, if it's made right, as he said, it should not hang your mouth way open. I mean, it's a very gentle opening to your mouth. But it does keep your mouth open a bit, not like wide. I don't know. I loved it, Tim, but because I truly noticed. I mean, I truly noticed a better night's sleep. I could notice it right away, and I was blown away. I didn't think it would work. I said, okay, I'll try it, you know. But what can that, just by moving my jaw a little, how can that possibly affect my sleep? And that's what really astounded me. Now listen, the guy with the park it right issue, he said he was parked at his condo development. He's an owner, and he was towed after. But first, he was booted by Park It Right. Now, Park It Right is a company that contracts with private owners to boot cars that are not parked properly. I have no problem with that as long as the rules are pretty clear. And in the cases we investigated, they were ambiguous, and I think they were unjustly booted. In this particular case, Will, when I look at the photographs, I can see clearly where there, as Mark pointed out, there are 3 parking spaces and 3 cars, and nobody's harmed. Everyone's parked. And you were, however, I will say this, you are over the line, Will. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
I am.
Yeah.
I will fully agree. I am over the line.
Were you there before the Jeep? Now, we're putting the pictures up online. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, of course, live on the iHeartRadio
Yeah, I want to know what people think about
these. But I want you to look at it. It's going to be on our Facebook Live or our YouTube Live, the referral list, or Tom Martino's referral list. Here's what I want to ask. Was that Jeep next to you? Was that there first?
Yeah, he was there first. And he is a neighbor of mine. I know his schedule. I know my schedule. I know I was going to be out of there long before he is in the morning.
Well, you know, he wasn't parked right either.
What's up with that weird double line there?
Well, yeah,
That's the HOA, and I've been complaining about that. The first space is enormous. The second space is large. The third space gets a little smaller, and then all of the rest of them going down get smaller and smaller and smaller. They just redid those.
But here's the deal. You could have parked between the lines. You could have. There was nothing preventing you.
But the vehicle to the left of me then is crushed because his car is right on top of the line.
Yeah, but here's where I'm going, Tom.
To keep from our doors and our cars from being dented.
What is the harm? If it's 3 spaces, 3 vehicles, they're equally spaced, it really looks like the lines are screwed up. What is the harm?
There is no harm, but you violate rules. You must be booted. I know. I know. But you see, condo developments, HOAs, they don't reason. They really don't reason. And the Park It Right people, they just want to boot people. I think...
Well, they just want their money.
There's no harm, no foul. That whole place, it's a cluster there anyway with that extra little line. But, I don't know,
What do you think a judge would say?
You're going to have to go to a judge because, you know, you're going to be up around $1,000 with this tow and everything.
It's probably over that.
You know that, right?
That's what I'm afraid of, and the fact is that it wasn't even there for 11 hours.
What I would do...
I didn't get home until after 7 last night, and they had it booted out before...
I wouldn't... Listen, I would pay it and sue them. That's the only way you're going to get out of this.
Right.
Yeah, I'd list maybe even the HOA.
The HOA, and I would list...
Park It Right.
Park It Right.
And maybe the felon down there individually.
But... that's the only way I see you getting this in front of a judge. I would love to see it in front of a judge. The points I would make if I was going to a judge, although I think you're clearly over the line, I would say there are 3 cars, everyone's parked. Whether people parked on the lines or not one additional space is taken.
And it's a little ambiguous with that extra line.
And it is a little ambiguous with the extra line. And had you parked between the lines, the car to your left, you wouldn't have been able to open your door. You'd have to get out on the right. No. So you have a lot of good arguments, but it's not a clear cut like it was with that woman where she was parked totally
where does it say in this apparent parking lot that you can't park over the lines? Where's these rules? He said there was nothing posted.
That's another thing.
Maybe those lines are just as a guide.
However, I think without rules, most people would agree, you have, you know, lines for a reason. You know, I think that part is probably, you know, is probably understood. Now, Genesis Total Exteriors, for your next home improvement project, Genesis is busy because they're honest, they're forthright, they're very skilled, and you won't have them taking money and running. Listen, in this home improvement industry right now, in this whole atmosphere, it's sketchy. We get calls all the time from people who used Home Advisor or Angie's List and got ripped off. I'm telling you, we hear it all the time. And we handle them right here. Whether they like it or not, we hear them, and we can prove it. GenesisTotalExteriors.com for both inside and outside. 303-679-8509.
For about 5 years. I hate it.
You know what her diagnosis was? How bad?
I don't know. You know, they did this for she went to sleep lab after sleep lab after. It wasn't that bad.
And that's the problem. All these real problem they self-refer for a second titration study of the CPAP.
It seems to take a long time to shoot.
$6,000 study of
That company handles CPAP machines. One company handles
well, there's a couple.
I think that's the best finale.
I've treated patients that have an AHI of 65.
Although people might argue MASH.
MASH was terrible.
Yeah.
You remember what MASH was?
I'm going to get her in
The
there.
finale?
Remember they flew off the helicopter. Is that what I heard?
No, they had an accident.
Every time I put it on.
The thing, there a bus
Yeah.
went down there. There's North Koreans and stuff were going by. His dream was to talk to psychiatrists. Then he had a chicken,
So I have a good idea.
smothered it and stuff and killed it. And then when it finally comes out, there's a baby. They smothered the baby, keep it in that's the MASH finale.
Just getting the patient able to
You remember not?
I remember the helicopter flying over.
So that's how it was.
There you go. Now, if they
was
had,
great. It was
if they
great.
had Babu in there, it would have worked out great.
Babu was in there in the final.
No, I'm talking if he was at MASH.
Do you remember where he sat up there? You were a bad thing.
Very bad.
We're big Seinfeld guys.
Yeah?
Oh, big. Mark's doesn't remember everything like I do.
They should bring Seinfeld back instead of Will and Grace.
Oh, maybe they will. No,
Her son, the main girl, her son got arrested for some weird protest a couple of weeks ago.
Elaine, her son, from Seinfeld?
No, her son from Will and Grace. I don't know her name.
Right.
The actual Grace, whoever Grace is. But her son was at, like, I want to say it was a anti-Trump type rally, but he punched somebody. He actually got in, like, real trouble and arrested.
I'm a finance guy, and to me, the choice of leasing with Alliance is the
Stop
obvious.
whining and crying. Just take action. Do something. Don't whine and cry about it.
Exactly.
Alliance leasing.
Tom probably cried for 2 weeks after Trump was elected. And Dan here, oh my God.
I sat up watching that. I told my son, I said, you're watching history. I said, everything was that he was going to lose.
I called him winning for a year straight. The night of the election, he calls me at about 7 p.m.
He's pointing to Tom.
And says, see, I told you it's going to be a landslide for Hillary. No, at this point, everybody thought it was Hillary. And I said, they haven't even done Florida yet. What are you, crazy, or Pennsylvania? 2 hours later, the entire map's red, except for New York and California. But that, he had to go one, even though he said I was crazy for a year straight, he had to try to get that last jab in.
Oh, which one was that?
On election night. Oh, I told you, he says. Best told you ever. Shit, I bet I have that recorded.
What part did I say I told you?
You called up on election night telling me how Hillary was winning by a landslide.
No, I told you. Right. I know. I remember that. I said, so what? I said, what? Or did I text you? I said, so where's your landslide? I said, or something. I don't know.
Boy, when it started,
you ought to see if you had that recorded, Mark.
When it started turning red, it was insane, wasn't it? That was just red.
Well, Florida and Pennsylvania, that was the big one.
Pennsylvania's a lot of votes too, man. How many do they have? I mean, it's way up there. It's not New York or California, but it's massive.
Right. And then Michigan too.
Florida was a good one.
Florida, like that started out.
Who else turned red, man? Or yeah, who else? There was Pennsylvania. Who was the other big one? Michigan. That's huge. Detroit, of course. That's why. Auto workers. In Pennsylvania, you know, the minings. I mean, people forget. People think of Philadelphia, but Pennsylvania is pretty rural for the most part.
Meet you downstairs in the bar and her. Your rolled up sleeves in your skull t-shirt. You say, why did you do it?
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Listen, I know Drew's hanging on the line. I'm not sure I can help him, but I don't mind making a call. And then Jorge has a problem with a dealership in Colorado Springs. We have a couple lines open, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you want to call in, if you need help, information, referrals, we're happy to do it. Okay? So, Drew, there's not much I can do if a church secretary was rude to you. The point is, if somebody's just tuning in, Drew's has a problem with his landlord, and his bathroom is unsafe, or he can't breathe, and there's a lot of mold in it, so he doesn't want to go in his bathroom until it's fixed where he rents. And the church pastor says, hey, you're a good guy, Drew, just use the church shower. And then the secretary said, I won't be here when you shower, or I don't want to be here alone. I think she's thinking of a Charlie Rose kind of thing, you know, where you leave the bathrobe open and try to, I don't know, she's overly paranoid maybe. But Drew, is the bathroom near her desk or anything? I mean, I don't
know where. But Tom, just let me finish. She yelled at me, "You can go screw yourself." This is a church secretary, and then she pressed 2 false harassment charges. And I did nothing.
We need to send this guy a full box of tissues. I mean, honest to God. Drew, you call... Because every time he calls, it's so bizarre. Drew, how do you find yourself in these bizarre situations?
True, that is true that you have a lot of conflicts.
Listen, Tom.
Yes, it is true, though, Drew, and I like you, but you get into a lot of conflicts. You do. I mean, weren't you thrown out of the New Jersey... what stadium? The Jets or
I was not thrown out of any stadium. I know what you're talking.
I'm sorry. I
the
thought
landlord. We have a lawyer trying to correct this. In the meantime, I was offered a church shower.
No, I know.
All I did was call, and some of these things that the women are doing are too much. She pressed 2 harassment charges, and she yelled at me, "You can go screw yourself."
What does the pastor think about this?
I don't know. In any case, I'm just hoping you can contact a journalist. This story should be out there.
Do you really believe somebody's going to do a story about a church secretary?
Front page of the paper.
No, seriously, that told a guy to go screw himself? I don't think it would.
It's not just that. I have lung damage. I was in the emergency room getting 3 hours of oxygen. She knew that. All I did, I hadn't had a shower in 12 days. They invite me over there. She yells at me, "You can go screw yourself. I'm doing nothing wrong." She is, I believe, a paranoid, hot-tempered person. And then I've got to now answer 2 criminal charges, and I did nothing but call over there. I was told to call over there by one of the church leaders who said, "You're a very good guy." And Tom, it's not just me. There are problems throughout the world. Just listen to your news station every day.
But I'm not sure yours rises to the level of news coverage, is what I'm saying.
Well, you might be right, Tom, but can you at least make a phone call and give somebody my phone number?
Call Geraldo down there.
No, I'll
Dan Rather.
You know what? Drew, I don't. Why don't you let us call the church and find out what's going on?
Tom, a lady ordered me never to call the church again, so I can't even find out what's going on.
And we can't, but we're probably not allowed to call. If he has other people call, it probably says too, right? Like you or your agents or people. I don't know. So if we
can you just try to contact a journalist? I believe people would be interested in this. Here is a disabled, crippled man with lung damage, and they promised me a shower, and the church secretary yells at me, "You can go screw yourself," and makes up two.
Okay, Drew. Okay, Drew. Yeah. We'll, honest to goodness, I promise we'll take it under advisement. We will. If there's a journalist I think that I can think of,
I'll call up Tucker Carlson.
Stop. I don't want to make fun of him, Drew. I feel like sometimes, I don't know.
Okay, why don't you just say it how it is with this guy? Honest to God, he is called up with the strangest things so many times for so many years.
Well, one of them
How does he find himself in these circumstances?
Well, one of them he called up when I was on WABC in New York that did turn out to be a major news story. One of them. I mean, yes?
If you would just give it a chance, let the journalist decide. Let the journalist hear all the facts. This is a church secretary doing all of this to a disabled, crippled man with lung damage.
You're not crippled, Drew.
Yes, I have 5 herniated discs. At times, I can't walk. I am disabled by the state, and this is a church secretary doing all of this to an old, crippled, disabled person who had to get 3 hours of oxygen right after speaking to her.
How old are you?
71.
Okay. Drew?
Don Lemon.
Drew, send me a photograph. I need a photograph of Drew. I'm serious, by the way, Suzanne. I want a photograph of him and in his condition, just sitting there, because if I talk to a journalist, they're going to want to see a photo of an old, crippled man with lung damage. I'm serious. They're going to want a photo, okay? So, have him send us a photo. So, Mark, you're wondering why... Can you do that, Suzanne? Talk to him and get a photo? Thanks. Can you do it? Thank you very much. Okay.
How about Sean Hannity?
No, let me tell you why, okay? Yeah, he's a little nutty, okay? Now, he has sued so many people in so many courts, and he badgers and badgers and badgers and badgers. So, if we get on that, you think I want to go through that with this guy? This guy, yeah, he's a little nutty.
I just want to know how he finds himself in these situations.
He turned me on to some good stories. He really did.
Like when? Give me a good one.
Well, it was
the one where the third party was selling his book on Amazon?
No.
That was enthralling.
Several years ago, it was an investment thing that... And we exposed it, and it really made news, and he really did have a story, okay? So I want to tell you.
I wish he'd find a wife and just, like, have a life. Honest to God, I feel bad for him because you think this is the only show he calls? He's calling from New Jersey. You think this is the only show?
Well, no, probably not. But he's followed me since I was on in WABC in New York. So, Emily, what's going on with you, Emily? Emily?
Hello?
What's happening?
Hi, I have an apartment complex that is charging $4 a night for visitors to park there.
Really? God, I mean, the apartments are getting crazy.
Between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., they have to go online and register.
Are you kidding me? And then they have to pay. What's the name of the apartment complex?
Indigo Creek Apartment Homes.
And they have to pay. So if you have a guest, you have to have $4 a night, basically.
Right. On top of your rent.
Was that spelled out in the lease when you first got in there?
No, but it says that they can do...
They can change it at any time.
Change it within, if it's 30 days, and they're giving us 15 days, not 30, but...
No, wait a minute.
Can they really do that?
Well, wait a minute. I don't actually know that, because it's not affecting really your particular lease and your parking, but just guess. That's a good question. It's a good question for Brandon, if he's around.
It affects a lot. I mean, let's think if he had to have a babysitter every day.
Brandon Siglian does tenant-landlord law. Can we get him back on and ask him that? You know, you bring up a good question. It doesn't affect your lease. Do you have a lease, first of all?
Yes.
Okay. And in your lease, they're honoring your lease, but then someone could argue that that is changing my lease because now the conditions of having guests have changed. It's changed the way I can live there, but I'm not sure. How does it affect you, Emily? How does it affect you?
It really doesn't, other than, you know, if somebody wanted to come over for coffee.
Well, that's
that's
only if they stay overnight, right?
No, it's after 7 p.m.
All right, wait. Anyone who goes there after 7 p.m. has to pay $4 just to park?
Yes.
What if they're registered? Do they have to pay?
No. Oh, well, they have to register per night.
No, but if they register, they don't have to pay, or they do?
They do. You have to register online. And
you have to
$4.
register and pay every time you visit there?
Yes.
After 7?
Yes.
What if it's before 7?
From 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. it's free.
Okay, this is queer. I need to find out about it. It's very, very weird. We need to figure it out. Okay, so I will get a tenant-landlord attorney on. It just seems too strange. 303-713-8255. Jorge, we haven't forgotten about you, okay? I mean, really, we haven't. If you're looking for stem cell therapy, I need to direct you to the only clinic that I would trust with stem cell therapy, because they have living stem cells. Now, there are many clinics that do it right. Centeno Schultz is my choice, because Dr. Chris Schultz was the first one to do stem cell therapy anywhere in the country, and he has a clinic right here in Broomfield. Here's the deal. No chiropractor, not one of them, who says they're doing stem cell therapy is doing real stem cell therapy unless they're harvesting the cells from you and doing guided injections. And none of them do it. They all have this fluid shipped in. Insist on real MDs, registered nurses, and true stem cells that are harvested. So if you have a bad hip, shoulder, back, hands, ACL tears, they can take care of. Centeno Schultz has 14,000 patients in their data bank they've treated. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. They're also on my referral list at referralist.com.
Hi, it's Botus. Yes, it's after...
Yeah, I know.
I wonder how you pay that.
I wonder how they would,
credit
if
card,
they wanted to do it straight up.
It's crazy. I've never heard of that.
Nurse practitioner.
Could she draw the bone marrow?
I still can't get over that picture, though. To me, that's just...
This one here?
They part correctly. The lines are off. I swear to God, that's exactly what's going on.
Did you know 90% of the clinics are fake?
Look how perfectly spaced they are.
What? Of the stem cell clinics are fake, 90%. So
whoever repainted the parking lot.
Oh, yeah. Right. Imagine you guys could take a tape measure.
Well, everyone's looking to
say, this one's
cash in and scan.
Put it back up.
That's why every dentist in town does the sleep appliance. They get the appliance, they say, you're not going to pay anything.
Where you go?
We'll take what your insurance pays.
Back up?
Give them the appliance, and they never see the patient again.
No, someone on
They
Facebook
adjusted,
wanted to
they have to do things.
Yeah.
So then they go back to the physician and get another test, and it's like...
Someone else on Facebook
these
can't
appliances
stand here
don't work.
that guy either.
But there's classes, 2-day classes.
Where do you get? I don't get all
insurance for $10,000 and right off the bat.
You get a lot more.
Are you familiar with this hold out the donuts?
Hello, Deputy Dan. Hello, Mark. Hello, Tom.
That looks like three square blocks.
It's like comments.
Ian says, please stop taking this guy's calls. It's so annoying to listen to this nutcase.
He's got a terrible voice.
Okay, Tom, let me ask you this. The lady called me a jerk. I haven't had a shower for 12 days.
Why didn't you shower at the hospital? 12 days. They have showers there because of FDA.
And you sponge bath.
This thing looks like a computer now.
I measure. Mark is sponge bath. I'm strictly a measurer.
That was a great. I never in my life thought Dan, go measure her ass.
So this lady got a walk-in Bentley back, got in a walk-in tub, and she could hardly walk. She lifts her feet up.
Oh my God.
Hardly walk. And she originally, the person who said her government guy said she'd have a walk-in shower, but Bentley bathroom walked into a walk-in tub. So we went and looked at it. The tub, the walk-in was this wide.
Yeah, you can't step over it. It's this high.
Yeah.
It's this high and this wide.
So in other words, and she's this wide.
So we got her out. She was sitting in her chair. She stands up. Mark goes 60. Go measure her.
So he gets behind her. She got it. She understood. I mean, really, how we ended up getting her a new one. is because this guy screwed up so bad. Remember what he said? He goes, I never saw her because she never got up.
She was in her chair. You could see, and you see literally is 18 inches wide at the top.
That's more than enough for an
right, exactly.
Well, they use the shower. That's what they wanted to use, but this guy makes more off the bathtub. So he sold the bathtub.
And if she would have got in there, say she could have lifted her up, she never could have got out. She would have lifted her up.
Because the door opens in. If she's in there, the door couldn't open.
It was the worst. And for him, and Tom was so nice to him when he was in the.
I never saw Tom so
screaming at him.
Outrageous.
And then you watch this.
And how fucking George sat there. How George sat there and took it. Break after break was amazing.
They said we took the roof off.
It actually got awkward. Tom and I are like, man, apparently he just won't leave. You got to walk him out here.
Which one is that?
Fucking Bentley. Can you believe how many breaks he stayed through? Remember, we had to have Dan get rid of Bentley just to get him out of here. The fucking guy wouldn't leave.
I told him at the end, I walked him down.
He almost jumped over and fucking beat him up.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't have, but I mean, my God.
That was my mother, and somebody kick your fucking ass.
George is just sitting there.
The root canal was also very good. They had only done one root.
Was it weird taking him down?
Yeah, kind of, yeah, of course it was.
I told him here.
I know.
Yeah.
What I see from other
Thanks
generations.
for stopping by.
Hey, no one has to same bad time, same bad channel.
Mark wants to yell at you. He couldn't get it.
That's right. Mark's in next week. He wants that.
In general practice, my crowns cost me.
Literally, I can't remember what, but
I'm sure she was how well they had webs right there.
and plus her circumference. It's a lifter. You had to, they just go and lift her.
It was egregious. It was absolutely egregious.
Yeah, they do. And
What he did should have been criminal.
I used to be a firefighter, and I did before I was a firefighter. I was an intern. I did an internship at the Inglewood Fire Department.
Hi, Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. If you're looking for a reverse mortgage, it's probably not a good idea in most cases. But this is the odd thing. In other times, it's a great alternative. That's the whole idea. Sometimes, and sometimes not. But when it is a good idea, it can really give you extra cash and help you in your life situation. But there's only one place that I really think you should go to find out, and that's approvalreverse.com. Joan Sullivan, and she's the boss there, but look it up online, approvalreverse.com. Okay, so let's talk to Jorge. I haven't forgotten about you, Jorge. Go ahead. What's going on with you, sir?
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
I have a problem. I own a Mazda RX-8.
Yes.
So I received a letter in the mail that there was a recall for the fuel pump gasket.
Yes.
So I took it to Bob Hancock's Mazda in Colorado Springs.
Okay, and what's the problem?
Okay, so the problem is the car doesn't start right now, and they pretty much throw their hands up and saying that it's something wrong with the engine, and they don't want to do much about it now.
Hold on.
The car was running. I drove the car.
The car was running fine until you had this work done.
Right.
What was the work?
There was a recall for the fuel pump gasket.
Right, right. So they did the fuel pump gasket. What could they have done that screwed it up?
Well, I have no idea. They're not telling me anything.
So it doesn't drive at all?
It doesn't start.
Does it crank?
I guess it's crank and turns, but it doesn't.
I mean, that's too coincidental, though, that you bring it in for, what year is this?
It's 2005.
It's just too coincidental that you take it in for a gasket for the fuel, and now it doesn't start. I mean, did you have anyone else look at it?
Well, the car doesn't start, Tom. It's at their dealership right now. It's
Jorge.
Well, hold on. So it never left their dealership after this work?
No, the car's still there.
No, but I mean, it never left, is what you're saying, or did you take it home and bring it back?
No. The car never left their dealership.
So what are they saying to you? Tough?
How many miles are in this car?
It's about 92,000.
Yeah, but what are they saying? Are they simply saying tough? It's not going to start?
Well, what happened is they told me the car was Friday. They called me and said the car was good to go. So I went and picked them up on Saturday morning, and the technician wasn't there.
Jorge, you didn't answer my question. This is just more story. I need to know, what did they say to you? Did they say, your car doesn't start, tough, or we don't know what's wrong? What?
Yeah, that's what they said. They don't know what's wrong with the car.
Did they say they would look at it for you?
Well, that was 3 days ago, and it's still not having to get back to me. I called them, and they just gave me the runaround, and no answer yet.
What dealership is this?
It's called Bob Hankus Mazda.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't think we've ever had calls on them.
Bob
I had one. Those engines only last about 90,000 miles on the RX-8s.
Come on. And then they're going to just be done? Come on.
I had an RX-7 Wankel for years.
Ours was replaced at 94,000 on warranty.
Hey, Tom, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Okay, the car, when I took it there, it was nothing wrong. It was running fine. But it took like a couple of 2-3 seconds to start, almost every time. So I told them that if they can look at it, we'll see what's any problem with the car.
Wait, that was before, hold on, that was before the fuel gasket?
Right, that was before. But I mean, the car starts. The car starts.
Yeah, but maybe a problem. Listen, Jorge, this is what I'm going to tell you. If it's connected to what they did, then it's their problem. If it's not, it's your problem. I mean, it's that easy, right? You know that, right?
But the problem is we don't even know what's wrong with the car now, because the car doesn't start and they're not.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you understand that just because it's there doesn't make it their problem, right?
Well, yeah, I understand.
I had that same car. I had an 05.
Okay.
Brand new, off the showroom. That car qualified for a lemon because of crank no start. They had to reprogram the computer 4 times. I probably didn't have...
You had the same problem?
I had it, but mine was brand new, under warranty. I mean, he's talking now it's 15 years old or whatever. But the interesting thing about that car is they eventually fixed it with programming. But as soon as they got it fixed and it was perfect, only had 4,000 or 5,000 miles on it, some wacko lady ran over it and pulled right up on it and destroyed it. Just a side note.
And it was parked at my house.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot. That happened at your house. Huh.
With some wacko who? Not, yeah. It's called an X.
Miles,
What's that?
Only 92,000 miles on that engine. So
yeah. Listen. I don't know. We need to investigate it. Does anyone
call
know?
Up for him.
No, I want to call some of our experts, too. So can we get one of our experts on just to talk about it? Anyone that may have heard about it. If they haven't heard about it, I don't want them on.
Make sure they know it's a rotary engine.
If they've ever heard about those rotary engines.
It is a rotary engine.
It's what?
It is a rotary engine. What is it called?
Yeah, they're supposed to be wonderful engines. Wonderful engines. Hold on. Has anyone listening heard of the RX-7 or the rotary engine, Mazda rotary engine,
RX-8.
cranking the RX-8, not starting?
Oh, it was. I'm not kidding. It was a huge problem. They redid mine 3-4 times.
Does anyone know? We're going to try to figure it out. Okay, Todd, what's going on with you, Todd?
Hey, Tom, love your show.
Thank you, man. What's happening with your idea, your invention?
No, it's not mine. It was, a couple of weeks ago, you were talking about a patentable idea that you wanted to change. You had an idea, and I was in the mountains, and I had 0 reception.
Oh.
And do you remember that?
Not particularly. That's why I'm wondering what you're saying. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you were talking about a patentable idea that you could slightly change and make it your own.
Right. That's right. Mark Trenner from Trenner Law. He's our intellectual property expert, and he does patents and patent searches and all of that, and does trademarks. But he said that it's easy to change things and make inventions your own in some cases. In other cases, where they have a utility patent for the actual function and everything, that's more difficult.
Well, you were looking for ideas, and my idea was my pillow.
What
you change my pillow, change it and make it your pillow and cut the price in half.
Well, you could. You could take My Pillow. I don't think there's anything patented there. I'm not sure.
I don't think there is either.
No, that's just called marketing. Now, that's another thing, first to market. There are plenty of things that are not patentable that people get first to market, and they just, you know, yell and scream about it to a point where that's all you think about. Like, you know, like I don't know where Zipa went, but that, you know, that advertising vibe with that guy from New York saying,
Zipa!
Hey, you want to stop snoring? Just get Zipa! You know,
it's Happy Z spelled backwards.
Yeah, you remember that guy? Well, you don't patent those things. You just mass produce them and get rid of them. So, I think that you actually have a pretty good idea. You could make one exact and just call it something else and cut the price. They're pretty, you know, it's amazing how much they get for those.
I figure they're like $80.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a reason. That's because by the time they do those point of sales like that on TV, those fulfillment sales, they keep doubling costs. They start out at one price and double, and then the next guy doubles, and the next guy doubles. By the way, Trenner Law, if you ever have any questions about intellectual property, either inventions, trademarks, patent searches, he's a sole practitioner in his office. He gives you personalized attention. Don't go online and get ripped off with an invention. These 1-800 numbers, just don't do it. They're all rip-offs. Trenner Law, on my referral list, 720-221-3708, 720-221-3708.
From the L.
Air conditioning traffic center. You have to go through a special starting and shutdown procedure. Yeah, I know. I read all about it. Trust me, I'm talking
Still residual backups. But I knew I would be hanging out.
Al, what about the rotary engine? Here's my question for you. Yeah, he does. We're going to be coming back. Do you want to squeeze it in before the top of the hour or hold it off till after the top because we're closed?
Well, you mean mass produced?
Warmer than yesterday. $60 a piece. If you don't start them and stop them correctly.
Tomorrow, sunny, even warmer with a high near 62. For right now, fair skies.
Warranty duration.
Well,
I don't think Mazda owns the patty house.
No, I don't think
they have a lot of problems.
Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses from Hiram, where business owners and HR professionals can
granddaughter never got it.
last month the Winkle engine
review and communicate with candidates from an online
I don't think it was considered a good engine.
I like this. The inventor of the rotary engine was a Nazi nut job.
I had a 2005, the same as
It's 2012.
Yeah, the 2005 though, it had 94,000 miles to put a new motor in warranty because the rotary seals went bad.
Well, the rotary seals will always go bad on that.
I know. The rubber. Also, look up the spark plugs. They're $60 a piece.
Oh, right here. Look. Mazda rotary engine returning in 2019.
They're great engines.
Well, they're low vibrations.
It's a triangle.
Yeah, they make no torque though. They're really weird to drive.
No, I
just have no torque. But it wound out.
The 8 was pretty good. The 7, my 7 was turbo, so it had torque once I was moving.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were very efficient.
No, they don't get good mileage.
I got probably on my 8, I probably got a little over 20. I mean, for a little car, it wasn't good. The 7 was a gas guzzler.
We bought that 8 for a granddaughter. She never got it.
We gave our 7 to her sister. They drove down from Georgia. Her and her husband, they were kids. They were married with like 20 kids. But anyhow, they drive down to Georgia, or they drive up here to Colorado. We give them a car as a present. They leave and drive home. They get all the way back to Atlanta. He fucking crashes into her in the car we just gave him. Destroy both cars. Fucking idiots. And they didn't have insurance.
They say thank you for the present.
You pay the shutdown procedure on your insurance.
No.
So they destroyed both.
Both of their cars.
Do you remember the shutdown procedure on your RX-8? You had to rub them to red line when you turn them off?
I don't remember that.
When they got older, if you didn't, you fouled the seat. I hated that thing we had. We got rid of it.
I traded mine right after Holly ran over it.
But that was an accident.
Do you remember? That was $28,000 in damage.
Jesus.
She put an Expedition, so, you know, my hood was like this. You know, it was a sports car. She had this big Expedition literally rolling right up on them.
But was it gray and matched the sidewalk or the driveway and that she didn't see it?
Yeah.
Sure. She did it on purpose.
I don't care what she says. I know she did it on purpose.
Really?
Yeah. I have no doubt. Now she'd say she did.
Beat the pain and enjoy.
No, there was no doubt.
Today is the day you break the stranglehold of addiction. You and your family run over another precious day to this horrible disease. If you or someone you know is abusing alcohol, or illegal drugs, or if it's a mental health issue, anxiety, depression, or trauma related to substance abuse.
Tom goes, he pulled one of these in front of me. He goes, listen, whatever you can say in front of me, you can say in front of her.
Okay, she's a goddamn gold digger.
So her mouth, she goes into the other room in tears. His mouth drops about, his chin drops this big. Couldn't believe I just said that.
I want to take that back.
I didn't get mad. She did you a favor getting rid of that car.
Get the help you need.
That was the most troublesome thing we ever had.
They actually told her?
No.
Oh, they didn't?
No.
And as it turned out,
10 years later.
They didn't toll
it? No. It was, I had 2,000 miles on it. I paid $52,000 for it. Fully loaded, brand new.
Oh, you're kidding me.
it was just terrible.
Holy cow.
I couldn't believe a truck would drive right up on it.
How long did you own it?
I probably had it maybe 2 months. It was literally the one in the showroom.
Oh.
They had to open the glass up and everything.
Hi, Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. So, Jorge is having a problem with his RX-8. And it's a rotary engine. Al Arama said he has run across this before. It seems to be a pretty big problem. Hey, Al, first of all, Pro Auto Care, thank you very much for coming on. Do you guys do rotary engines there?
Yeah, I mean, they come across, absolutely. It's a car that sold a lot throughout the years and stuff. And
they're bringing it back in 2019, the rotary engine.
Yeah. It's a great design. It's one of the most a new style of combustion engine.
It's efficient.
From the inline to the V's, and then they added the rotary. The Wanko, basically, is who designed it. And it's pretty interesting design. I mean, it does function. It does work. They build a lot of power, too.
Well, you don't need a crank like a conventional crank with, the cam and stuff.
Less moving parts.
I mean, you do need a cam. I mean, it's just so efficient is what I mean. Anyway, let's get to this.
Exactly.
He's getting a crank and no start. And here's what they did at the dealership. They replaced the fuel pump gasket
or O-ring.
Is that right, Jorge?
Yeah, that's correct. I guess they replaced the pump too. They put a new pump for the fuel pump.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me that. They put in a new fuel pump?
Well, I don't know why, because it was there just for a gasket, and I guess they ended up putting a new fuel pump.
Did they charge you for the fuel pump?
Yeah, did they charge you?
No charge.
That was part of the service bulletin?
Well, no, the Rico said it was the fuel of the pump gasket, though. So I have no idea why they put a new fuel pump, but they did.
Something's really weird here.
Okay, so what do you think, Al, if he's now getting a crank and no start?
Okay, Tom, it's always that simple stuff, regardless if it's a rotary, a diesel. Do you got fuel? You got to go to the cylinder to see you got fuel pressure, fuel out the fuel rail. Then ignition, the plugs. I'd be pulling plugs out of this thing. What are the conditions of the plug? The plugs tell you the story. If they're soaking wet, carboned up, there's different conditions, Tom. Those are the things you begin with on any car and any motor. You want to basically go, did it get towed not running? Or
no, it was running. He just went in for the service bulletin. That's all. And now they can't start it to get it out of there.
They can't figure it out?
Right.
Is it a Mazda dealer or?
Yeah, it's a Mazda dealer. You know what, Clint? Can you call the Mazda dealer? We need to call.
I think we're missing something.
Hey, Al, while we have you on, can you do a screaming deal?
Yeah, I think a great deal. So many of these new cars are using the full synthetic.
Right, full synthetic.
And, look, listeners need to hear this. Don't think you become smarter than the engineer of the car and say, I don't need to run full synthetic. Yes, you do. You have variable cam timing on many of these cars, direct injection. Do the full synthetic. I'm doing those for $49.95 with full inspection. Top all your fluids. check your tire pressure, go through the car, test your battery, check your charging system. $49.95. That's a great deal on a great service.
That's full synthetic oil change with filter, topping all the fluids, and everything else they do for you there. Plus, you get roadside assistance. Did you know that? Anything you have done at Pro Auto Care, when you're done, you have free roadside assistance after that for 36,000 miles. Their number is 303-PRO-AUTO. That's 303-PRO-AUTO. 2 locations, near Evanston I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe, 303-PRO-AUTO. I'm Tom Martino. We got a lot more coming back. Get your calls in, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
I wonder what that dealer did. Something's really wrong with that whole picture. Yeah. Or he's leaving something huge out.
It's got to be a bad fuel pump. To replace the fuel pump.
But why wouldn't they do it again then?
They would do it again. Absolutely, they would do it again. If it was driven in there.
Or they're going, or we're missing something like, well, they want to charge me a diagnostic now, and I told them I didn't want to pay it.
You guys get people that call in here and like don't tell you the whole story.
Oh my God! My favorite. This woman had him so worked up. Both of us. I mean, so worked up. And we're going through this, and it's outrageous, and we can't believe it. And then finally, I don't even remember.
It was the guy. It was not a woman. He's talking the guy with lost all of his money.
No. That's different. No. This one was a legitimate problem, but all of a sudden it came up. She left out. It happened 7 or 8 years ago. She was talking like it happened the last weekend. I couldn't believe it. But shit, over the years, you must have had that a million times where they leave out something that's just, you go, how the fuck did they leave that out?
And that's why we always try to call the business and say, we know there's 2 sides to every story. Would you give your side of the story? Some people have, they want their policy is not to come on. It definitely looks good.
It's crazy, though.
But you're right. Oh, God, some of those, you wouldn't even recognize the real story from what they came off and said.
The one he was talking about, I went out there, he sounded normal to a degree, but the guy was literally Looney Tunes.
Basically, he had all this money in the bank, and it was somebody had what's going on, and he took all the money out of his bank, and they foreclosed on his house and stuff. Yeah. So Mark went out and they had laid the papers out. You know, there hadn't been money in the bank.
No, go ahead. I only have a little time. Hello, I only have a limited amount of time. Yeah, Andy, what's happening?
So my story where they ran over my car, my RX-8, the dog was in there also. It crushed the dog.
What rupture?
Twitter and Google say they'll be more proactive in targeting and removing extremist propaganda before primarily through the use of
Okay. And someone's telling them it was ruptured.
Oh my goodness!
You work on those? Really? Oh, do you? There's so few of them around here.
Oh no!
In the mountains.
They're most of the.
I think it's been happening. How did it break?
Out of everything, a boiler is the best way to heat your home.
They have like the old ones would have like literal radiators in the room, right?
Yeah, they still have them.
I understand that, but it circulates in there. That coil, that motor, that electric. You're talking about the toe kick
how much more than like a.
Yeah, that toe kick heater is a pain in the ass. But in any case,
boiler, you'd be 12 to 15,000.
Oh, really?
Boiler, but
yeah,
I'm talking about a really nice condensing boiler.
Every day you put out buying life insurance can cost you big.
I got a.
But Andy, that's coincidental. It's the fact that it didn't work. The reason that toe kick doesn't work is because the motor is seizing up. Because when the relay tries to kick on that motor, it just hums. And if I spin it with my fingers, I can get it going.
What's that?
My office, electric baseboard.
Yeah.
What would you?
Okay.
Here, this is a great question. I got this place and it's got a crawl space. Is there any way I could put some type of efficient system in that?
Oh yeah, of course.
It's a log cabin.
You should get like just a plug-in electric.
Oh my God.
Plug it in, set it on high. Be nice and toasty.
You have a crawl space in the cabin, you want to be able to heat the cabin up in the mountains.
Right.
Just a boiler system isn't
I know, but how would I run all that piping?
Is it crawl
You know,
space?
Miles graduates his
right
ceremonies on a
Oh,
Wednesday.
oh, you turned it off then.
I hope.
I
don't
Okay, good, you're right.
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Toe. You
I've
know what
got
I
a text to Steph.
So
Yeah, we just run that stuff.
Ours is Wednesday, May 23rd.
Is there a valve underneath or downstairs? There's a valve that can turn it
Yeah.
into hot water on
I
and
started
off.
thinking, when is it?
I
doubt
to and from.
I doubt it.
I think they do that on purpose, almost like prom, they stagger.
Same size, but that I do heat most of it.
Okay. I remember when I went to prom.
Doesn't that go back into the
Yeah,
system now?
so we can do an alternative source of heat.
So what would that cost?
Hydronic
Okay.
heat.
So if I, okay, I get it. So if I wanted to have that removed or something
Yeah,
cheaper,
Ready? Pot belly.
that's something to worry about.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Oh, man, thank you.
But I'm gonna do it, but now you gotta run.
How often are you guys there?
All right, well, just the weekends anyway.
Okay.
He plays frisbee golf.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So,
I'm all upset.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, a pellet stove may not be bad either.
Those aren't the pellets.
Oh, no, 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 I'll take, yeah, we don't need
Kind
that.
of wood,
I don't know, yeah.
because you can come up and grab all the wood you want
Honey,
from my yard.
but that toe kick, honey, the toe kick, honey,
What?
you just have to know something.
Sure.
The whole,
Stack, deliver, restack.
with the toe kick heater failing, that is
I'm
coincidental.
sure baseball electric.
Had nothing to do with it. It was the flex line. It has nothing to do with it.
I've been fighting for consumers more than 30 years in all
So
areas.
seriously,
You'd
if
be
I,
surprised how many people out there are like, oh, we just put electric heat in here.
Right.
Electric heat's to take off the edge. You know what I mean? It's not the,
you shut the water off, take off the edge of your wall.
your bill,
Yeah, I'll say, man, there's no way.
your bill to kilowatts per hour, right? And so if your amperage is 60 amp circuit, you could have maintained 7 degrees and then have to shut off. So your kilowatts per hour is going to be the same.
Thank you.
I remember my first time I went out there, I didn't realize. 10 days after $350 electric bill.
I trust Ron and Jack Larson
Yeah,
and
it's
their
crazy.
team of experts,
10
and you
days.
can too.
You know, you'd be cheaper at this point to get heat pump in
Or
there.
check them out at
And we can
larsontaxrelief.com. That's
utilize
844 Larson Tax.
the electric heat as a backup.
Oh, I usually, like I said, I rarely turn electric when I go up there.
Why'd you even have electric put in?
It wasn't, it was built like that. The guy built it.
I love
I got it, and I didn't realize.
I thought you had it built.
No. But my
You have your heat
realtor,
going out, Tom?
Oh, yeah, the, whatchamacallit was out there already. Back to operating pressures. And some idiot ran flex line from the boiler for one of the zones. It's just a tiny zone with a toe kick. You know what a toe kick is in the boiler?
Yeah, we work on boilers.
Yeah, okay, do you? Well, the toe kick I have, they ran flex line to it. And so that flex line got a hole in it. And it was draining the boiler.
Where was the water going?
yeah. You don't know.
One person. Okay. So anyway, so that flex line just developed a little hole in it from vibration because it's out of code. They're not supposed to use flex line for a toe kick heater or for any zone, heating zone. They use a frickin' flex line to go up into the kitchen and connect to that toe kick. But that's the only thing on that loop. It goes to and from the boiler, but they use flex line. So I told them to vacate it because I don't even need that little toe kick. All the baseboards are enough. And I don't know why they even bother putting one in there. They're pains in the ass.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALKS. 303-713-8255. This hour brought to you by Century RV, the largest selection of used RVs in the state. Century RV. I love Century RV because now, not only are they at the 119 turnoff to Longmont North on I-25, they're also now in Lakewood. And you know what I love about it? An indoor showroom. So on a day like this, you don't have to worry about the temps. They have literally 32,000 square feet indoors, completely heated, comfortable, to show you all the RVs you want to see. Yep, it's on 6th Avenue, just north of 6th Avenue, okay? Between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's, okay? Just north of 6th, between Kipling and Sims, next to Woodley's, open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. If you want to find out more, CentryRV.com. CentryRV.com. Okay, let's keep going. I have such an exciting hour in front of us. We've been talking about some stuff here with Dr. Berry, TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center. That means, you know, the sleep apnea that you have, you can get it now corrected with a mouthpiece instead of those C-CAP machines. I hate those machines. I call them C-CRAP, or C-PAP they're called, right? C-PAP? I call them C-CRAP. I call them C-CRAP so much I forgot they were C-PAPs. Anyway, these mouthpieces are small, convenient, you can travel with them, and how long from beginning to end? If I went to see you today or tomorrow, if I went to see you, how long does it take to get my appliance in my mouth?
If you present to the office with a current sleep study, it can take us anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks to get the appliance back. If we need to order a sleep study and get that full evaluation done, we're looking at 4 to 8 weeks time frame.
For the entire process?
Correct.
Okay. That
can change your life forever.
That not only change your life, but save your life. That's the thing, save your life. So look for TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado on my referral list, 303-691-0267, 691-0267. Let's talk. Emily, you're telling me that at your apartment complex, they are charging for visitor parking if anyone visits after 7 o'clock. They have to pay $4. Now, is it $4 an hour, $4 every 2 hours? How much is it?
$4 per night.
Per night after 7 o'clock, and they have to register.
Yes, they have to have a parking permit for $4 per night.
Where do they get the permit?
They go online.
And then what, print it out?
www.parkm.com.
Now,
it's a virtual.
A virtual permit. So what happens if they don't pay?
They are subject to tow.
Do they have signs up saying that?
We just got the notice yesterday.
This is ridiculous. Now, I wanted to know, is that a violation of a lease? In other words, if they lease to you under a certain set of circumstances, can they change the conditions? Does this affect the lease? Now, I go both ways, yes and no. Yes, it affects it because your guests can't come after 7 without paying, and that paying is not in your lease, so it's an extra charge. But on the other hand, they're not charging it to you, they're charging it to outside people who do not have a lease. So it's really weird, and it probably does not violate your lease. Probably does not. Although people could make the argument. Have you talked to any other tenants?
No.
This is weird. Mark, what do you think?
Well, what happens if someone has a babysitter every day because they work and their kids at home? That would be a brand new expense that could possibly be,
right.
$100+ a month. I don't know.
Were we able to get a hold of Brandon Siglian, our tenant landlord attorney, to talk?
I didn't know you needed him again. I'll call him.
We need to talk to him for this. Yes, 303-713-TALK. Don has a question for our sleep apnea sleep dentist here. And by the way, I imagine you do regular dentistry, Dr. Berry?
No, I do not do regular dentistry.
Really? You do only this?
No, this is his expertise.
Wow.
I do TMJ therapy and sleep dentistry only.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, what's your question, Don?
My question is this machine, I got to have it hooked up to my nose and my face. And
I know. Yep.
So this machine that this TMJ has to offer, is that without a hose?
It's no machine. It's
I'm sorry, Don. I wanted to mention something. If I didn't make that clear, I'm glad you brought it up. It's not a machine. Go ahead, Doc.
It's an FDA approved device to treat sleep apnea.
It's a mouthpiece.
Appliance, yeah.
A mouthpiece. That, just say it in English, a mouthpiece.
But customized for you.
No, but that sounds scary. An FDA approved device. I'm saying
it's an oral appliance.
You put it in your mouth. You literally, like the boxers put mouthpieces in. It's a mouthpiece. Doc, is it 2 pieces or 1 piece?
typically 2 pieces. There are some devices that are 1 piece and stuck together.
So you put one on top, one on the bottom, and they're custom fit to you, Don.
Okay, so I put it in my mouth. They're custom fit. I no longer have that hose hooked up to me. And
Nothing. None of it.
I can take it camping, and I can take it in the hotel.
Exactly.
So I don't have to worry about those machines anymore.
Right, and you know what, Don? Only 3 to 5% of the people with sleep apnea require a CPAP. There are some severe cases that require a CPAP.
Think of, if you are married, think of your wife not having to listen to that machine anymore either.
But Don, isn't that good news? No, seriously, isn't that cool?
Yes. It's great news. So if I get on TMJ therapy...
Yeah, now that's the name of his dental office. It's actually it's a sleep apnea treatment. But the side effect is it also treats and less. It's like therapy for TMJ because it relaxes your muscles overnight.
Okay, what's his number? I'll call him when I get home.
Okay, 303-691-0267.
0267. And what's his name again?
Dr. Kevin Berry, Berry, and it's TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado.
And they take insurance.
Yes, they take insurance. We have Brandon Sigling, attorney at law. He does our tenant-landlord law on the referral list. He represents tenants and landlords, depending on the cases. And I just want to remind everybody, he's doing a webinar tomorrow on abandoned property. For tenants' abandoned property. So if landlords want to hop on that webinar, he's giving 50% off. You just have to write to us live at troubleshooter.com. We'll give you all the information. It's a webinar. You don't have to leave your office. So live at troubleshooter.com. Right now we have Emily. Now listen to this, Brandon, because I was thinking, really, does it affect a lease or not? She has a lease, as well as all the people in that complex will assume they have a lease. All of a sudden they get a letter, and it says, "Dear tenant, from now on, if you have visitors past 7 o'clock, they have to register for a permit and pay $4. That's everyone. Anyone who has a visitor. After 7 o'clock, they have to pay a fee. If it's 7 to 7, it's open. They have to pay a fee after 7 p.m. Now, obviously, the question is this. Mark brought this up. What if you have a nanny or a babysitter that comes and you work at night or something like that, and you need a babysitter who stays, no matter how long you stay after 7, it's $4. So what if you get home at 8 at night and your babysitter has to pay $4 every single night? You're basically, your rent has increased 7 times 5 or 6 times 5 or 5 times 5 times the year. It could be a significant increase. Could you make an argument, Brandon, if it's not in the lease, they can't just arbitrarily do this? Or can they say, hey, we're not affecting you, only visitors?
Or is it all spelled out in individual leases?
Well, Emily,
meaning this lease.
Emily, I'm assuming it's not in your lease. Right?
No, it's not.
Okay. Go ahead, Brandon.
Okay. This is a fascinating one, Tom. So certainly the issue of contractual terms being put on a party after the contract has already been agreed to is usually problematic for the party trying to incorporate new terms. Now, what a lot of leases will do, some of these long-form leases will say things that, we reserve the right to have reasonable rules and regulations, and those will become part of this contract. Now, whether a judge is going to enforce something like that, a lot of factors are going to go into play, and whether that would be.
So what do you think? What is your gut? That can they just arbitrarily do this?
My gut says no. For a lot of the reasons you said, also, family members coming by. Now, if there's something that they can kind of have some kind of rationale for, like they promise security for the premises, and this is to pay for the security for after-hours security or offset that, maybe they have some kind of argument. But generally, you can't discriminate against family members. You got this issue that you mentioned about vendors or babysitters. Again, that sort of goes on the line with familial status, having children, and that they're it's caused problems on a basis, on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah. So what would she do? I mean, really, does she they haven't levied a charge, and it's only if she has, you see, it's actually not probably going to affect her that much. She just thinks it's a bad idea and doesn't like it. What would a tenant do about it?
You know, I guess it's a gated community, and that's why.
I don't know. Is it gated, Emily?
No.
No, it's not gated.
No.
They just
Okay.
have a parking problem.
They're just going to patrol, and if they see people there after 7 p.m., if they don't have a permit, they're going to get probably a ticket or booted. I don't know.
Virtual permit.
What's that?
It's a virtual permit.
Well, I understand that, but they match it to your license plate. So if they don't have a permit, they have to pay or they leave. Or get booted, I don't know, or towed.
So
yeah,
Tom,
they get towed.
Part of the issue come to mind, is this an issue that the management is dealing with, you know, their common area of parking, and they're saying, you know, if you're going to park in this area because there's limited availability, we're going to charge for parking? Or if it's actually a charge for people that are coming to your unit, even if they walk in. And like you know about the covenant of quiet enjoyment, generally, you know, you have the right to live in privacy in your own unit. You can contract out of that right. But,
Emily, where are the parking spaces? Are they all in one area called visitor?
No, they're all in front of the buildings.
See,
but they have so many tenants and not enough.
I understand, Brandon. What it is that it's just open parking, basically, right?
Yes.
And then everyone parks, so it's just mixed in with everyone else. It's just those who don't live there have to have this permit. And I guess, you know, they have machines now that they can go down and scan license plates and in a second or two find out if that one is registered or not and paying. So your gut feeling, Brandon, is that they can't just start levying these charges.
Well, I got to change that in the analysis if it's a parking fee. Because that's a common area under the control of the landlord, you know, could they potentially impose a small parking charge? Would that be reasonable? Perhaps. There's a lot of things that maybe would go into this. I would suggest asking them for what authority they have to levy.
That's
this,
a good one.
And then we figure it out from there.
Yeah, here's what you do, Emily. This is a good point. What you do is you ask them, say, look, I understand your policy, blah, blah, blah. Could you show me what bylaw or what law or what in my lease authorizes you to do this? And see if they respond and get back to us, okay? We have a question for Dr. Barry. Everett, if you could just hold on, I'll come right back to you, okay? All right, Everett?
You bet.
All right, man. We're talking about sleep apnea, among other things. I'm Tom Martino, and I talk about investments often, and this is one that I truly say, look, I can't see anything wrong with it. It is a great idea. Shouldn't be your only investment, but finally, there's a way that people can invest, even if they don't have tons of money to put away, like thousands and thousands of dollars. This is I believe, a very practical investment. Here's how it works. You get a whole life investment grade policy. Now, it's not a regular insurance policy. In fact, you want to try to buy as little life insurance as you can. The only reason you're buying the life insurance is to get the government's permission to put money away in it. Because when you have life insurance, the government allows you to put extra money in that policy to grow tax-free, because they want to encourage people not to depend on the government, okay? So if you have life insurance, you overfund it, you can build up a good cash value. And then you can borrow from that cash value just a few days after you put it in. You borrow from yourself, and you pay yourself interest when you borrow, and you put that into your account. So the idea is to grow a nest egg. And then later in life, 40, 50, 60, you pick the time, you can then draw out regular checks every month like Social Security, but it's better. And you don't pay tax on it because they are loans to yourself. And here's the great thing. When you pass away, the loan is paid by the life insurance. It's just a great idea. During your life, you can borrow for cars, for college, for anything you want. And the more you borrow, the more you get to put away in interest for yourself. 303-779-6600 to find out more. Look at my video at becomethebanker.info to find out more. Becomethebanker.info. See if you don't think it's a great idea, at least for some of your money, because it doesn't take that much. For as little as $250 a month, you can start this. 303-779-6600 or becomethebanker.info.
from the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Crews are still working a crash on southbound I-25 at 84th. The good news is it's off to the shoulder. The bad news is still backups to 104th, so pack your patience on that stretch. Looks like that wreck off highway northbound Wadsworth near 52nd. That's been...
On the air, I just really wanted to run straight past someone, hoping to verify I'm not crazy, maybe to validate how wrong I am.
Well, that's what we wanted to happen.
I answered back. We still wish you well. Life will get better.
We want to talk to you on the air. We think people might have ideas.
Yeah, that's what I asked him to do. He answered that. Then he answered back again. I probably won't make it through this transition much longer as I run out of options and resources. It seems like it will make things better once I'm out of the picture. So I said, please call us back on the back line. We'll probably find you some help. Keep trying. He's in his car.
We have no way of finding him.
Did you hear that having buddy move in
People
with
earning money with a second home. Companies like Airbnb have created a whole new industry.
That's what stuck out in that story more than anything.
What was that?
Yeah, I'm sure his wife hated the fact he let this guy just move in and start
Let a homeless guy move in with him.
Yeah, basically he had a homeless guy move in with him, and I think the wife was finally just like, this is fucking crazy. And then who knows what else.
He was working, and he was at home.
He was at
He
home.
might have been at home drinking beer with his friend all day. I don't know. No.
Boom. No. That's the story he painted.
No, but here's the point, Mark. Whether the guy was a deadbeat or not, did he deserve truly to be kicked out for, unless he was being abusive? I don't know. She said, you know,
I don't think
the way he pictured it, he said she was cheating on him. He found out about it, and she had him arrested for domestic violence. But this is the problem. Real domestic violence is deplorable. People should be skewered for it. But it's so easy for a woman if she just calls. Honest to God, if Suzanne calls later on today and says, my husband screamed at me and grabbed my phone away from me and I was feared for my life, or he hit me, Mark, it doesn't matter. You will absolutely go to jail. It's just on someone's word. It's hard to believe, but I swear to God, you will go to jail. And everyone will think you did it, even if you didn't. So, you know, just think, you find your wife cheating or doing something, and you say, well, how could you do that, you bitch? Oh, I'm calling the cops, because she's afraid, right? She's afraid you're mad. Okay, yeah, you are. You're not going to hurt her, but you're angry. You might throw something. You go to jail. You go to jail, and then you can't come back home. And then she divides up all your shit and sells it. Now you're out on the street just totally powerless. It can happen. If you're looking for granite countertops or solid surface countertops, artofgranite.net, Art of Granite. Here's what I love about them, okay? Hardly anywhere can you get a price on the phone. He'll give you a price on the phone. You just send him some photos or some measurements. You get the price. And it's within only a few $100s of the final price. You cannot beat that. And then when you go out to a showroom in Golden and pick the specific cabinets or countertops, then you get an exact price. Not off too much from the original one. And the whole thing takes 1 to 4 weeks. It's that simple. He never charges above wholesale for the countertop material, and it's only a small markup on cabinets. He tears out and hauls away free. Whatever you do in the kitchen, he does in the bathroom free. Give him a call, 303-386-5919. Open 7 days a week, serving the metro area and the mountain communities. 303-386-5919. Artofgranite.net. Everett has a question for Dr. Berry with TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado. Go ahead, Everett.
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Hey, I use a CPAP machine, and I've looked into these mouthpieces in the past with a couple other people, and I was instructed or informed that if you have periodontal disease, that these are not recommended for you. Is that true?
What kind of disease? You mean gum disease?
Periodontal.
Yeah, that's correct. If you don't have proper tooth structure to support one of these oral appliances, you know, it's not a viable option for you. But there, you know, the other options are if you get the periodontal disease under control and you're in a stable position.
That's what I was going to say. That, I mean, Everett, that is not a disease like you have forever. You can get rid of it. You can get healthy gums again. Did you try?
Oh, yeah, I go to a periodontist, but the problem was when I was younger, you know, it affected me at a really early age, and my parents didn't take me in to get it started, you know, taken care of early
But literally, you can get it fixed in 6 months. I mean, unless it's something. What is it? How bad is it?
Well, it's caused some tooth loss and bone loss.
Oh.
And at that point, and it's what I'm doing now is on a management.
You're talking about a super bad condition then.
Yeah, I've lost a couple teeth because of it.
Oh.
But it's being managed not to get any worse.
I see what you're saying. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, I was looking for alternatives to the CPAP machine, you know, because, again, I wear that nose mask all night, and it's pretty uncomfortable.
Would your exam determine that?
Absolutely. We'd take the x-ray. We'd be able to, you know, evaluate your bone level, see if that would support an oral appliance. And sometimes if you are maintained and you do have enough bone to support your teeth and the appliance, that we actually give you more stability at night, and it's not progressing the periodontal disease because you're also sleeping better with the oral appliance.
Well, great. I'll look into that. Thank you very much.
Now, Everett, what would you say is the #1 contributor to your gum disease or your periodontal? It goes farther than gums. I don't mean to minimize it. It's bone and jaw.
Part of it was hereditary from what I've told genetics, but also that at a early age, you know, I did not use good dentist. I went to a lot of the Perfect Teeth and chain dentist places.
Okay.
And it wasn't caught.
All right. I want to. I like to correct people. I don't represent any of these, but I want to be very clear that a lot of these chain, as you call them, chain dentistries, are marketing groups, and the individual dentists themselves are all individual offices. So you don't really. It's not kind of fair to say like Perfect Teeth or whatever, you know, Smiles or whatever the names are, because truly they are individual dentists. Now I don't know of any personally. I'm just saying that
they're generally advertising groups or buying groups.
That's all they are. So
well,
you just.
But it wasn't caught early on, is what I'm
okay,
saying.
No,
and
there's.
I don't know that.
Yeah, that's too bad, man. That's too bad. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. It's very interesting, Dr. Berry, that you do only TMJ and only sleep dentistry, not regular dentistry. Wow. I mean, you really do specialize.
I do. I limit my practice to that treatment because it deserves that amount of respect and that amount of time for the patients.
What got you so into it? Why that?
He has it too.
Oh.
Yeah, I have sleep apnea myself. You know, it's the constant pain. What really drew me into this field was really the TMJ treatment with my patients, and then you know, the field has evolved that TMJ patients that weren't getting treated, or their symptoms weren't being resolved, as they had also another underlying condition of the sleep apnea. So to properly treat my patients, you need the training in the TMJ therapy and the sleep treatment. So it just continue to get education from there on.
303, this is his number, 303-691-0267. Hey, Michael, what's going on?
Hey, good afternoon. I pre-ordered a product through DenverOutfitters.com just prior to Father's Day, and it was a fly rod carrier that's supposed to fit on top of your truck, and it has just been one ongoing nightmare in terms of...
Well, did you get the product?
No, never received the product.
So you never got the product, so we don't even know if it's a good product or not.
No, and, you know, through online Google research, you know, after 120 days or more, or through Better Business Bureau research, you know, after beyond 120 days, I found out that people just aren't receiving their products, or if they do, it's just, you know.
Did you do it by credit card?
Yes.
They just cancel your credit card. You see, I love credit cards for that reason. You know you can do that, right?
I wonder if it's been too long since Father's Day.
No. You don't want to know why? Because the 60-day limit is lifted when it's fraud. And I simply say fraud. You know what I mean? Now, billing, if you read the law, or not the law, but the requirements from credit cards, the little print, they really say for billing disputes. And it's not a billing dispute if you never got the product. It doesn't even have to be fraud. It's like I do that like it's a service dispute. It's not a billing dispute. I change the wording, and I have never been turned down when I dispute. Now, I didn't win every single one, but I've never been turned down for the dispute.
What if it's a checking debit card?
Doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't. Because I go back and forth.
As long as he used it as a credit card.
That's what I'm getting at.
In this circumstance, he's fine.
Because he wouldn't have used it as a debit.
Because it's fraudulent. They never shipped it.
And he didn't put a pin in. You didn't put a pin in, right? You didn't do it as a draft.
Well, You know, I don't believe so, and I mean, in true disclosure, my wife ordered it.
Well, find out.
I doubt she did.
Find out, okay? Because I would just dispute it. Who's the issuer?
The card or
of the card? Who?
Yeah, Compass Banks.
Compass Banks. I'm not familiar with them. I mean, I'm familiar with them, not with the credit cards. I mean, the very best consumer friendly for disputes, the very best is Capital One.
Oh man, you know the story.
I've gotten so much disputed, and they just put that money back in. And man, you better have a good story if you want to keep my money. They stick up for me.
And they warn you too. Remember, I got that warning. Hey, this looked like a super generous tip. You better check it out. And sure enough, a restaurant overstated the tip.
So my question is, and I can deal with my dispute. That's fine. They've also, at this point, they claim to be issuing me a refund.
No, I would just do the dispute, period. Just do it. And you'll get your money back immediately.
So my question is, what about all the other people out there? Because they are currently still advertising.
Well, we need to warn people. We need to warn people and find them. We need to go after them.
DenverOutfitters.com.
In Grand Junction, Colorado. In fact, why don't you call them, Clint? There's the number.
Now, this shows Lakewood.
Hold on, what?
Actually, it's Lakewood, Colorado.
Wait. I have, hold on. Oh, you're right. I have Colorado Outfitters. Sorry, Denver Outfitters. Okay, DenverOutfitters.com.
They claim to be a manufacturer of some kind.
Well, so they claim to manufacture the rod.
There it is. Okay.
But they don't, do they?
Well, it's lots and lots of stories.
Here's how you can tell if somebody is legit. First, do they even have a phone number on? If they don't have a phone number on the site, I can't stand it when you can't call a place. There it is. They have a phone number, so I'm going to do this privately so they don't get inundated. No, actually, I'm going to let them know. Because if people call and say, we've heard about you on the Martino Show for not fulfilling orders, you're telling me this is happening in multiple events, right?
Yes, sir. You can go ahead.
I'm reading some of the reviews now.
Here it is. 303-746-1306 is the phone number. We're going to call too. 303-746-1306. That's a place called DenverOutfitters.com that apparently is not fulfilling orders. I'll tell you who fulfills orders and does it in a great way. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. You can be the fortunate. You can receive a discount of $1,000, the fortunate recipient of a $1,000 discount on smart hearing aids. That means they're compatible with smartphones. No longer do you have to have anything around your neck or a little control device in your pocket. Everything's controlled to an app. That means, on some days you might want it louder or softer, and you can adjust for certain crowd situations. They're so wonderful. You can also take calls on them because they're compatible with your phone. Think about that. All you have to do is call for an evaluation, and you will be in line for the $1,000 discount if you decide to buy. Here's the number, 303-534-0163, 303-534-0163, helpforringing.com. Now, it both helps with tinnitus and with hearing loss, or with one or the other. That's 303-534-0163, and remember, you get free test drives with anything you get at Colorado Tinnitus with no obligation, so you can try it out to make sure it's really what you want. 303-534-0163.
From the Fox Business Network, on Wall Street, the Dow climbing past the 26,000
mark in afternoon trading, with tech and healthcare companies leading the charge. And Apple making a big announcement today, saying it's building on its commitment to support the American economy and its workforce, with the tech giant investing $350 billion in the U.S. economy over the next 5 years.
What does that mean? What are they doing?
Big league. It's
big league, man. They're building a factory over here, Foxconn. The ones that had all the Chinese kids jumping. It is. It's Foxconn.
Which it has already planned to substantially.
I don't think it's in Colorado.
And Pepsi taking a different approach for its Super Bowl ad. Actor Morgan Freeman and Game of Thrones Peter Dinklage will be facing off in the Super Bowl commercial.
Hillary might have had them investing $400 million.
Ice and Doritos Blaze will be promoted. This is the first time Pepsi has taken this approach. Pepsi also sponsors the Super Bowl. With the
where Amazon is.
On Rubarski.
I heard Denver is trying to get
retirement savings,
multi-billion-dollar
IRA, or investment account? Then I have one.
Jeremy, can you think of a scream deal you want to do of some sort? Or
Any day now, and you could lose 50%
Yeah.
or more of your hard-earned
Can you,
savings again. But
program
you
my
don't have
phone?
to lose a penny. There's a
Yeah.
much safer way to save for retirement, and you can learn
Yeah.
about it. Free report. This method continues to grow your money. even when the market
$4,500
tumbles.
comprehensive
To get this free
furnace
report, go to
Comes with a combustion
bankonyourself.com.
analysis.
That's bankonyourself.com.
$45 furnace maintenance. So it'll take about 2 hours to do the whole thing, and we don't just come in and blow it out. We go over every single component in the furnace, compare it to manufacturer specs, standard filter replacement, and perform combustion analysis.
Does, do they go to Castle Rock?
Yeah, we can talk about it later.
West of Broadway,
um,
watch out for delays.
yeah,
What the forecast? Sunny, warmer than yesterday, a high near
Everybody
52.
texts me
Nice
back when
overnight,
it's fast, I haven't got hold
with
of
a low
anybody.
28 tomorrow, sunny,
Nobody
a
called.
bit
Poor
warmer
people.
still, and a high near 62. Right now, fair skies in Denver and 45.
No answer, no,
Your traffic
leave messages
weather,
for these people I need to call, just
6:30
nothing.
K-House.
One of those days.
Used by over 3 million
I'll keep
businesses
an
for hiring, where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions, then sort, review, and communicate with candidates from an online dashboard. Learn more at Indeed.com/hire.
Call them off. The dealer doesn't just throw their hand on the monster killers and you can't fix it. Yeah, down there in North City. And
Extra mile.
Yeah.
Stations like Spin Cycle, Hip Hop,
There's more to say
24-hour
by
cardio
Jorge.
to help you stay motivated for all your New Year's resolutions. For all your favorite music, all your favorite stations, 80%
All the time I
free.
call these businesses, I
Download
find
our
out
free
I call them.
iHeartRadio app today. Chevrolet's current tagline is 5 new roads. Well, Pure Boy Chevrolet is just up the road in Fort Upton with their 50
Gotta do a little more sweet talking, man. You're not sweet talking enough.
Hey, what's my silver tongue bill?
5 new roads. Every hour, on the hour. It's Fox News Radio. On Denver's Talk Station, 630 K-House.
Should go if you're looking to save money. Buyandbuild.net. It's for both contractors and individuals who want to get better than wholesale pricing on interior finish items, plumbing fixtures, electrical fixtures. Unbelievable. Some vessel sinks that go for $800-900 you can get for $80-90. We've seen it. We've also seen tubs and light fixtures especially. The savings are extraordinary. You can only believe it if you walk through the big ugly warehouse. And I call it the big ugly warehouse. It's not that ugly. It is big. 4800 Washington Street. Buy and build. For they have floor coverings of like tiles and stuff. They have windows. They have cabinets. They have granite. They have faucets, flooring. They can save you thousands. Contractors do go there, and you can too. Or you send your contractor. 303-295-6022. 303-295-6022. Buyandbuild.net. Dwayne has a problem with a mechanic, and we still have time for plenty of calls. Here's the number: 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Get your calls right in, and you'll get right in actually. And we do have Dr. Kevin Berry with us for TMJ therapy, and he also does, of course, sleep apnea therapy. Go ahead, Dwayne. What's going on?
Yeah, Tom. I have a 99 Toyota Van Sienna, and it needed to get emissions done. So first thing I did was got a new cap put on, which I knew that needed to happen.
Yeah.
Second thing, I got an oil change, and I don't know how many miles. There was over 200,000 miles on it when I got it.
Okay, and what year is it?
99.
Okay, so what about it now? What can we help you with?
Okay, well, bottom line is it didn't pass emissions, so they give you a booklet of mechanics to take it to. So I thought, okay, I'll take it to a mechanic that's close to the home.
Yeah, but what's the problem, though?
What's the problem is my engine's totally fried now.
Oh. And you think the mechanic did it?
Well, I don't have a crystal ball, but the van didn't make any noise until the mechanic worked on it. They give you a timeline, how how long it's going to take him to work on it. Well, it's supposed to be a 4.5-hour job. It took him from 8 in the morning till 5 that night.
What was he doing? What was he doing?
Okay, he was changing the plugs. He was changing the wires. But when he changed the plugs, he noticed that I guess the back 3 were saturated with oil. So he had to change the gasket around the valve cover.
Okay, listen. Here's what I need to know, because this is really, really bad news. Because what I'm going to tell you, you're going to hate to hear. Really bad news, because it has 200,000 plus on it. Let's just get right to the bad news and then work backwards. Even if this guy did everything wrong and literally robbed you of this van, just totally did everything he could, and it was total fraud, and he ruined your engine, and he ruined your van, what do you think it's going to be worth?
Well, $50 now.
Well, I don't know what it's probably more than that. But Mark, what would you say? $1,000 maybe?
Maybe.
You know? And that's the deal. You can't replace it for that, but that's the way the law works when it comes to damages. You're not going to get paid more than what was taken from you. But I want to get to this part. Is the engine truly toast?
I say it is.
But why? Did it seize? Why is it totally gone?
Because okay, they heard the valve sticking or something in the engine. So what they did is they put a gas or oil treatment in that night before I took it home. The next day I started up. The oil light came on for about a half hour. Then it finally went off, and then I took it back the next day, the 28th of December, and they did an oil change. Well, the reason I say it's toast is because I was driving up to a friend's house about 11 miles away. By the time I got up there, there was no longer a tick in the engine. It was a knock and a squeal.
Okay.
Like the engine
there is a such thing, Dwayne. You know, it could be that with the work they did, the treatment and stuff, it loosed stuff up, and it just could be that it's dying. It's got more than 200,000 miles on it. It's really possible.
Vehicles, you can get over 300,000.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, but Dwayne, of course you can get 1 million miles in some circum. I mean, there's crazy stories about all this, but truly, Dwayne, that's not the norm. It isn't. I mean, you only owned it for 2 years. You don't know what happened to this van. What I'm getting at is, you need to figure out if it's worth even trying to fix, because you're not going to get anything from these people.
Why I need the van? I'm disabled, and the van is something I can get in comfortably.
Then what's your disability? Let's try to help you get something instead of trying to just.
I can't get in a low-profile vehicle anymore.
Okay,
it has to be
what's
higher.
your disability?
I got back issues and knee issues.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 57.
Are you on disability?
I am.
Okay, so why don't we try to just find you something, or see, where is this van right now?
Right now I have it parked at a church parking lot where I attend.
Okay, is it possible we can have somebody at least look at it? Where is this church?
It's in Littleton, Colorado.
And it doesn't drive well?
I won't even start it up yet.
Okay. What did these guys say that worked on it? I don't really think it's fair to just blame it all on them. I mean, I know you.
No, I'm not blaming anybody, but.
But let's say, what do they say about it? What do they say about it?
They said, we don't know where this king is coming from in the beginning.
What do they say now? What do they say now? Did they say anything they did could have contributed to this?
No, they said, well, all we did was change the plugs and wires. We didn't.
Did they charge you for this?
Well, no, they didn't charge me for the oil treatment, and they were just trying to fix.
Yeah, did they charge you for anything?
Oh yeah, I spent almost $800.
Oh
yeah.
God, almost $800.
Yeah. And I know that van wasn't mistreated because it's a pastor that
I mean, Mike, I don't. Who am I talking to? Okay, Dwayne. Here's the deal. Even if even if they tried to do it the right way, it's possible that it just, I can't go there, okay?
What was the year, make, model again?
It's a 99 Toyota with over 200,000 miles.
Sienna.
It's a van, yeah. I just can't waste the time trying to blame these people, because even if they're fully to blame, which they can't be, not with 200,000 miles, unless they're just total clowns. What's the name of the shop you went to?
It's Midas off Kipling and
let's call the shop and ask them what condition it was in when it got in, and ask their opinion. Can you get the information? What were you going to say, Suzanne?
Well, Deputy Clint has some ideas for him as well,
like
so I'm
what?
going to put him on that.
Like
I'm
what?
not sure.
Okay.
I bet he owned a Sienna.
Let's try to figure this out. Try to get him a van, maybe. It sounds like he's in a bad way. Dwayne, we want to help you, but there's not always a bad guy. I just got to put it that way. There's not always a bad guy. If somebody touched that van, it's so possible that it just was going to go no matter what. I just can't even imagine what they did that could have caused all of this. Just I don't know. Maybe it's just hard. Frank Duran, the real estate man, is someone I recommend all the time, whether you're buying or selling real estate, especially selling, because he knows how to market better than anyone. And not only does he know how to market, he does outbound marketing. That means he gets on the phone and he goes to a list of buyers that he knows, or he goes out to other places where there are people looking for things, and he knows how to email all kinds of different lists for all kinds of different potential buyers and other real estate people. 303-920-1622. He sells faster and for more, and he has statistics to prove it. And he has more listings than anyone, and there's a reason for that. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622. Now, talking to Dwayne, I'm thinking, if you want a used car, truck, SUV, or van, Rockies has them. Now, they're never going to have old stuff like that, but if you need to change a vehicle, you want good, safe vehicles, just watch yourself. If you buy anything with 150,000 miles or more, you're going to probably have problems. And 200,000, forget it. You absolutely will have problems. Rocky stocks good, clean, safe cars. They have a Carfax on every car. They own each and every car. And they have not only a variety in the cars themselves, but they have a variety in financing. More than 40 lenders to choose from for your situation. If you're looking and shopping around, shop. I recommend you shop, but I also recommend, you'd be crazy not to put them on your list. Put Rockies on the list and then compare apples with apples, and you'll see what kind of deals they have. And if you like it, buy. 303-426-4646. That's Rockies, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 63rd and Federal.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
There's still some...
Crash southbound
$300
has been moved off to the shoulder. Still big-time backups past reports at this time.
Well, I'm actually getting what they call an offer right now.
Westbound I-70 a bit slow in the elevated portion, as is typical. Northbound I-25 slow downtown between 6th Avenue and Colfax. Otherwise, the drive is in fairly decent shape across the metro area. The weather forecast: sunny, warmer than yesterday. A high near 50 tonight, overnight with a low 28. Tomorrow, sunny, even warmer, and a high near 62.
Oh, everything's
right now,
about Apple. I thought Apple this morning.
45. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner. 6:30.
Has anyone ever smoked in this vehicle?
Brought to you by Indeed.com. Indeed, used by over 3 million businesses for high where business owners and HR professionals can post job openings with screener questions.
God, that's better days, man. I live in Franktown, dude. I dropped that car off like on the other side of the earth because I bought probably 5 vehicles from you
Take it
guys.
like it is,
And now I
make
find
it like
out
you want it. You've heard that before, right? No, that applies to your home too. But maybe you don't know exactly how to get it done or what the options might be. Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. How about starting with a call to us? For over 30 years, our family company's been designing and completing first-rate kitchens and baths that, frankly, your neighbors would be jealous of. Where to start, Todd? Dad, they just need to call us. We can help. And now's the time. At Done Right, we offer only the finest cabinet resurfacing, custom cabinets, tub and shower
so
upgrades,
many
and full kitchen and bath remodels. Simply call us for a free in-home estimate, and you'll see
Tom, what kind of calls do you guys usually get for heating and air conditioning stuff?
Reality.
Tons.
Come on,
Like,
folks, get her done. Once and
what
for all.
would be super competitive and in the marketplace? What type of calls you get? What type of offers that we will offer? You know,
Most of the time, Our biggest complaints are price. Price is the biggest. Right. The next thing is services that are rendered that make things worse, or they don't do anything. They're going to fly by night, they don't know what they're doing. Right. So the price complaints are usually superior, or usually the price, the complaints about services are usually when they try to get the cheapest. It's almost like they make their own bed. And I don't know what you mean by, if you want to be competitive, it's so easy to be competitive in this market because basically all the big companies knock people's heads off the prices. I mean,
what I don't want to do is to do like a $40 trip charge or something and then give it away for free if there's a repair, but then feel like it's just a markup in the repair price or something. You know what I mean?
Well,
you get what I mean, right? I get those calls all the time.
I don't know what you mean. Martino, you're a troubleshooter.
Our guest today, Dr. Kevin Berry, TMJ Therapy and Sleep Center of Colorado, that does sleep apnea treatments, and we've been getting a lot of emails about it and stuff. It's good to know that people have an alternative to those CPAP machines, and people have been asking for that number, so I'm going to give it to you one more time, 303-691-0267. 303-691-0267. I got to get, did you call anyone on that? Or did we have no follow-ups from you, right? Yes or no? One. What is it on that, Clint? If you could give it to me quickly.
Lewis, the guy who had to be moved because of the infestation problem?
Yes, and he wanted to evict himself, and I said, you know, do the constructive eviction based on warranty of habitability. Our attorney says you can write a letter, demand it, and then break your lease if truly it was as bad as he said. But we wanted to know if we could light a fire under the landlord. What happened?
They're moving him on the 1st.
They're what?
They're moving him to another apartment on the 1st.
Good
That's
job.
awesome.
Good job, Clint. They're going to move him to a new apartment. That was quick. That's good. That's great. Okay, now, Ron, what's going on, sir? Ron.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, I just want to let you know about what's going on with the National Western Stock Show.
What's going on?
Well, they don't pay overtime.
Well, what do you mean they don't pay overtime? Do you mean the actual stock show itself?
Yes, absolutely. Here's the deal. For years, they've had an exemption under 1938 agricultural law that lets them not pay any of their workers overtime.
That's what I was going to tell you, and you took it right out of my mouth, really. They do, the farm workers are exempt.
I understand that, but most of those people are hardworking, and they're not doing agricultural work.
Technically, they're not. You're right. They're not on the farm. It was made for people on the farm.
Right. They're parking a lot of tents, they're bus drivers, whatever. And the real kicker is National Western gets millions of dollars in tax money, which they should spread around a little bit, you know, because most of those people are real poor.
Now, Ron, I get your gripe here, because they're technically using a law about agriculture and farming to pay less wages. What do you do for them without giving yourself away?
I do not work for them. I used to live in the area, and I've known people over the years who have worked there. And, you know, some of those people during the stock show work 60 hours a week.
Right, but they have an option, and I hate to say something like this because it's easier said than done, but they do have the option of not doing that job.
Same. The ski industry has some of the same rules.
Yeah. Ron?
Oh, the ski industry does?
Yeah, now, here's how we attack this. And I mean this. You don't attack it by saying they should pay overtime. What you do is get them out of that law. You know, prove that it's not agricultural. I mean, in my opinion, the stock show is not agriculture. I mean, they're just doing a show about agricultural events, but they're not planting crops or tending to livestock or anything. They're putting on a show. Now, those members the participants might be in agriculture and farming, but not the stock show itself. I agree with you.
The Wage and Labor Board may agree with them.
You know, that's a good point. The Wage and Labor Board may agree. Now, you know, the last thing you want is the stock show moving to Cheyenne or getting out of here because, you know, of what it does for the state. And frankly, I don't think you're going to get a lot of support.
I was going to say, I thought there's probably some subsidies there. Didn't it take a while to get it here or something?
Well, it's been here for so many years, I don't remember.
This is 1905.
Yeah.
You know, it's a legacy from the smelter industry that used to be in Globeville and Elyria.
But I don't know. What I'm saying is this, Ron. I don't think you're going to get any support to change the law to get them out. Somebody made the decision that they fall under that law, okay? You need to find a representative who wants to say, these guys work too hard. They shouldn't be under the law. And then get them to do a new law. Colette, you have a question for Dr. Berry. We're running out of time. What is it?
My question is, what can I do with TMJ injuries that are 20 years old?
TMJ?
Yes.
Well, can you cure something been around that long?
We can always treat it. You know, my best recommendation is get evaluation and X-ray. We'll see what type of injury it was, as if there's degenerative changes. But yeah, we can still treat patients that have been in chronic pain for over 20 years.
So that's a good answer. Now, Paul, again, not Paul, the guy that called about the stock show, I really meant that. You need to get a representative to go there, someone from his office to check it out and to see what they, you know, how they feel about the workers there, that they're not agricultural workers. I'm Tom Martino, and we're simply out of time. I'm sorry. I'm Tom Martino. Remember, referralist.com.
80% of Fortune 500 companies lease their vehicles because
All these places don't call me back, but they call the customer back. Well, that's good. That's good. That's fine. And I don't need to rush you when I say this. No, that's fine. All right. The last thing I want are just Jeremy is all the outfit you need at the lowest smart price. So here's the deal. Hey, Lynn, can I talk to you just a couple minutes, Dr. Berry? Absolutely. I have some ideas. I just tell you. I got his card. I'm going to get my wife in there. She's on the CPAP machine. I just need to have her this.
Hey, thanks for going over that one. So I'm going to call that around from Swan.
I have
you think you've had the issue with them?
They're not the grid. They don't have the grid reputation. I don't want to sit here and say poorly about anybody, but definitely not the best reputation.
Which one's the dentist? You are.
Ask me questions.
You know Dr. Bailey? Yeah, some of them. Yeah, yeah. Because that's where I got my got it.
I've got another one.
Dr. Bailey.
Dennis Bailey. Well, for the stats that have the
mine had.
Well,